Media Association.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
Clouds will slowly increase through this afternoon, but temperatures will stay mild. We'll be warming up into the upper 50s and the lower 60s later on this afternoon. Clouds will linger overnight tonight, keeping us milder. We'll drop down in the 30s and 40s, and we're back up in the 60s for your Wednesday afternoon. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialist that also takes care of our fleet at Signal Media. Fleet Management Services is now hiring for Loop Tech, Tire Tech, and Light Maintenance. 8 paid holidays and paid vacation, paid health insurance, and 401k. Pay depends on experience and signing bonus. Apply in person at 901 East 8th Street in Little Rock.
Attention Arkansas homeowners, are you tired of that old, outdated bathtub? Replace it with a beautiful, modern, easy-access walk-in shower from Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Bath Makeover is Central Arkansas's trusted local source for custom bathing solutions installed in as little as 1 day. Backed with a lifetime warranty, featuring our revolutionary new laser-etched shower wall systems. Call Bath Makeover of Arkansas now at 1-800-NEW-BATH during our triple saving sale. You'll save 3 ways. First, save $1,000 on a new bathtub or shower. Second, ask about 18 months, no interest and no payment financing. Senior and military discounts. Third, purchase a new bath or shower and receive a $200 Target gift card plus a bonus. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH right now for a free $50 Restaurant.com gift card with in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong.
Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRAFFIC25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code TRAFFIC25.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees or your back? You know, joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. Hey everybody, it's RJ. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury, and the best part, no drugs, no pain meds, and no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People in Central Arkansas are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this upcoming week. QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
This is Chris Roberts with Southern Bank. We want to thank those who have decided to trust us with their banking relationship. Our customers recognize that true community-style banking is more than words. It's local decisions and friendly staff you know by name. Whether it's personal checking or lending on the most complex commercial project, Southern Bank can handle your banking needs with a personal touch. So what's holding you back? To start your banking relationship, visit one of our friendly branches, call us at 501-424-0900, or visit online at bankwithsouthern.com. Member FDIC.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 caller-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. I'm ready, Rick, for your opening. I hope it takes about 5 or 10 minutes. Good afternoon, Mr. Rick Schaefer.
I don't know what in the world I could say that would last 5 or 10 minutes.
That's why I said that. I wanted to see exactly what you could offer.
Pretty speechless. You know, I think the thing that being on with David this morning and Roger, I think the thing that impacted me most was them talking about seeing Jack Nicklaus last night. And Justin Akery, and I thank you, Justin, I think he sent invitations to where we could have gone. I don't know how we could have gone, though, because we're on Drive Time Sports till 7 o'clock. But I thought that was really nice, and it stimulated conversation on who the giants of each sport are. And I think that Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods are probably in a category in their own for golf, although you do have to throw in Arnold Palmer because his charisma really got people excited about golf again. So I'd say those three got us talking about other sports. They asked me what I thought of baseball. Babe Ruth obviously is the standard, and most people who argue who's the greatest ever will say either Babe Ruth or Willie Mays, although Babe Ruth's statistics dwarf his era a lot more than Willie Mays did, but Willie Mays was the better athlete. And then Barry Bonds didn't even get mentioned because of the PEDs, which is too bad. His numbers are just off the charts. And then in football, we talked about, you know, for you and I growing up, even though you may have been a Packer fan, Jim Brown was the standard. I mean, you just thought he was the greatest ever, and yet you would have to now say Tom Brady's the greatest ever. And Patrick Mahomes is closing fast. If they win this Super Bowl, he's closing fast. 4 Super Bowl wins in 5 years. Even Tom Brady didn't do that. So there you have that. And in basketball, I think Michael Jordan is regarded as the standard, and LeBron James is I think a pretty close number 2. So that's an opening that we talked about this morning that I thought was very interesting. I thought that was very interesting, and I do think sometimes, just as I opened last night, you know, we can get so wrapped up in, the Razorbacks did this or, the Razorbacks did that we can fail to enjoy other sports events that later on a lot of people will be talking about. You know, on Drive Time Sports we talk so much about the Razorbacks, we don't get to a lot of the other things, and yet I know our listeners watch the other things. You and I do. And I think that's what makes the enjoyment in sports is not being so focused on just one thing that we can't enjoy so many of the other things going on.
So have you begun to lock in already to the Super Bowl, speaking of Patrick Mahomes?
Not really, but because it's 2 weeks away, and I understand why the NFL does that. And in the case of both teams, it's probably good because they've, you know, now the Eagles had to play the extra game. The Chiefs didn't. They got the bye. And I know that the Chiefs felt like near the end of the year they were a little beat up, but now both teams will be very healthy. And yet, man, I think you really lose a lot of the momentum that you've got with championship games one week. And, you know, they play every week during the season, but I guess you could say the same thing about college, and they spread the bowl games out. So, no, I'm not focusing on it too much yet, but it's interesting. You grew up loving the Packers because they won all the time. And they had great leaders, Bart Starr, Paul Hornung, Jim Taylor. Those guys were great players. Their offensive linemen, you could start naming some of them, Kramer, Thurston, defensive players. They were really good. They had Hog Hanner, who was an Arkansas guy.
Elijah Pitts.
And now, because I've never had one NFL team that I was all that, loved, I did like watching the Patriots when Tom Brady was there, because they had character. Brady was a superstar, but he never behaved like a superstar. He always gave credit to other people, and it was just a joy watching them play. And I enjoyed watching him win a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. Well, I kind of feel the same way about Kansas City now. I really like watching Patrick Mahomes. I think his character is impeccable. He's certainly a tremendous player, lifts the offense when they have great skill players with him. They're really, really good. When they don't have great skill players with him, he figures out a way. And so I'm enjoying that. I don't know how long this run will last, and I know a lot of people that don't like the Chiefs are tired of them already. And yet, think about this. They won Super Bowl IV. They won Super Bowl IV, which I believe was the 1970 season. They didn't win again until 5 years ago. They went 50 years without winning. So why begrudge them this success now? It would kind of be like, since I like baseball so much, it'd be kind of like the Pittsburgh Pirates all of a sudden being good. You know, they haven't been in the World Series since 1979. It would be, or the Orioles haven't won since '83. But it'd be almost like if one of those teams was in the next 5 World Series. Would we all be upset about them since they hadn't won in so long? You would, because you like the Yankees. But I like watching the Chiefs play. But in honesty, if the Bills had won, I'd have been okay with that because I kind of like them too.
Well, I think maybe there was a little bit of wanting maybe the Commanders to win. We think of them, I do still, as the Redskins.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Then that would have been neat.
They weren't ready. They weren't ready yet.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, hold on. Yeah. Just saying, because there are some, and I still remember the 4 consecutive Super Bowls that Buffalo went to with Jim Kelly.
Amazing, lost every one.
Lost every one of them.
Yeah.
They and the Minnesota Vikings have a history that getting into the Super Bowl 4 different times, but walking away with 0. The Broncos finally broke that streak years ago.
Yeah.
And they were kind of on that same plane. So my point is, had the Buffalo Bills and the Washington Commanders, who again, I remember the heyday, Billy Kilmer and company, and Sonny Jurgensen, all those guys.
Yeah. Well, how about Gibbs won, what? Did he win 3 Super Bowls with Washington, or 4?
I think
Williams
3.
Was quarterback once, yeah.
I think 3.
Yeah, they were really good.
And John Riggins, the great fullback, running back, however you want to label him. But
Razorback linebacker Raven Caldwell played for 1 or 2 of those Super Bowl teams,
So it is one of those situations where that fresh face, so to speak, even though Buffalo has had its experiences, but not in these players. I'm not sure in these players' lifetimes.
No.
But nevertheless, it would have been pretty cool if you'd been the Bills and the Commanders in the Super Bowl.
I do understand the anti-Chiefs because growing up as a kid, I liked the Cardinals first, and then I couldn't stand the Yankees because they won all the time. You loved them because they won all the time. I couldn't stand them because they won all the time. Maybe because they were from New York too. I didn't care for that, and so it does create. If you like your team and they win all the time, you're having a marvelous time. If you can't stand the team that wins all the time, I get that.
I was always drawn though to a player. Yeah, Mickey Mantle. Then I got drawn to, he was somewhat controversial. The Candyman, Reggie Jackson. I loved his magic that he could bring. Yeah. And even if he and Billy got into almost near fist fight, it kind of added to the drama of the whole thing. Thurman Munson, loved Thurman Munson. Unfortunately, his life was brought to a short close because of that airplane crash that he was involved in too. But it was players more than just the name Yankees.
Yeah.
And there still is the lure of the Yankees with me, absolutely. But I haven't jumped, as an example, totally with both feet on the bandwagon of Aaron Judge. And I think he's a great player.
Really?
Yeah.
Good grief.
Well, I'm just saying, okay, forgive me, I'm human. Just because I don't gravitate to him.
That's your team and you don't like Aaron Judge?
I didn't say I didn't like him. I'm talking. I am talking. You're not listening. You're not listening.
I'm sorry.
You're too busy talking. Gee, my knee. Where's my buzzer when I need it?
Do I need to get some kind of intervention happening right
Well,
now?
no, he won't let me finish, Kramer. I keep trying to say something. He keeps interrupting
Because
me.
he just said he didn't like Aaron Judge.
Did I use that phrase? I don't like
You
him.
said you hadn't warmed
I
up
said,
to him.
okay, I haven't warmed up to him to the same level
so good.
that I did with Jackson and Mantle. That's all I'm
Okay,
saying.
When you were younger, okay.
That's all
Hey,
I'm
I
saying.
like Gunnar Henderson. And I looked Cal
Golly.
Ripken, but I really like Gunnar Henderson.
You guys remind me of that opening scene in When Harry Met Sally when all the couples are talking over each other.
I know somebody. Rick made a sabotage visit to this studio, and he has removed the buzzer. Do you?
I have not been in the studio.
He has done it. It is not here. I'm
really?
protesting.
No
I may
kidding.
leave the studio.
That thing
I
has
may
got so
leave
many
the show.
stories, too. Oh, my gosh.
This is
What is the
great.
station going to be without that buzzer?
Yeah, the buzzer probably was put in there when Mickey Mantle was still playing.
Yeah, it was.
Been there for a while.
1951, 52.
I heard
Golly.
Babe Ruth took that buzzer with him the first time he went to Hot Springs to get a nice, relaxing weekend.
Probably so.
Gosh. Let's talk to Rick. Rick, what's up?
Hey, I've been calling in earlier with.
No, I've already heard your love, your adoration for Wes and Joe.
Hey.
I've heard it.
Okay, let me tell you something y'all forgot.
Okay, what
Let
did we
me
forget?
tell you something y'all forgot.
All right.
You talking about golfers? Yes.
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus
Yeah.
is the best
Yeah.
ever, and Tiger Woods. But you forget about Bobby Jones.
Yeah, that's going back. And of
I
course
did
he-
all that research back in the day on Bobby Jones and Ben
Yeah.
Hogan.
Yeah.
Hey,
They were
don't
great.
forget them.
Well,
Yeah, I was
They
around
was
when
fun.
Bobby was
Opportunity.
going around the links. I remember him well.
But Bobby Jones didn't come close to the
That
accomplishments of
freaking
Nicklaus.
buzzer is gone.
And as good as Ben Hogan was, he
I'm
didn't come
protesting.
close to what Nicklaus did.
And then, hey, y'all forget, y'all didn't mention the names. Remember I always felt so bad for these two teams growing up, Fran Tarkenton and the
Yeah.
Purple People Eaters.
Yeah.
And they lost 4 Super Bowls, and along with the Bills. I cried that night that they didn't. Well, tears went down my eyes. I felt so bad when I was a younger guy when they missed that field goal.
Kind of like
And
Niagara
then
Falls.
when that
Doink.
Bruce Smith and all them, oh my goodness, what
Yep,
a
should have won that one. Should have won
Doink.
that one.
And I'm telling you, I mean that, oh my goodness. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think. I think there's not going to be a three-peat. I'm going to think the Eagles will win it in 2 weeks. What do y'all think?
Well, I think
Yeah,
the Chiefs will win.
it's
but
great
the-
coming
but
back
the-
in
But they're both
talking to
good.
y'all.
Thank
the
you, Rick.
Eagles- Hey, the Eagles are good. They're really good. And I personally think when you're arguing who should be the MVP, I think it's Barkley. Yes, Allen had a great year. Yes, Jackson at Baltimore had a great year. Barkley, the Eagles are nowhere without him. They sign him, and all of a sudden he has this amazing year, rushes for 2,000 yards. To me, he's the league MVP. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I think he is. So, yeah, they could definitely win.
He should have had the all-time rushing record.
Yeah.
But they held him out, and that's
They did.
now in wisdom because it's more important now to be in the Super
Sure.
Bowl.
And he got hurt his ankle a little bit last Sunday, but again he gets 2 weeks to heal, so it'll be okay.
All right, this from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line from Ben and Bryant. It says, on to baseball. When do the Diamond Hogs get rolling? They're getting very soon. Their first game, February 14th, 3 o'clock in Fayetteville versus Washington State. Now, they open up that weekend actually with a 4-game, not a 3-game,
that's right.
but a 4-game set.
Was it is it Thursday through Sunday?
It's Friday,
Friday
Saturday,
through Monday?
Sunday, Monday.
Monday, okay, all right.
Monday's game is a 12 o'clock start, and then Sunday's game is a 1 o'clock start. Saturday, 2 o'clock, Friday, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, noon.
Okay, and I'm assuming that we will do what we've always done, and if it's a non-conference weekday game or midweek game, we probably
don't know.
Will be on the air. But now opening day, maybe they'll carry that game.
I don't know. That Friday,
we'll
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll check that out. But be assured, listeners, if the Buzz isn't carrying the game, then one of our sister stations will.
Oh, 106.7 would definitely carry it.
That's right. So
HB sent this out. And let's see.
Does it go as far as February the 14th?
I don't know if he goes that far.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, he sends out oh, by the way, speaking of Razorback baseball.
Yeah.
We will have on as our NIL player.
Oh, really?
Nolan Souza. Nolan Souza.
Great.
Working out the day and time with him. I haven't had a chance to actually converse with him yet.
Usually Monday when you think for a baseball player, they play on
the
weekend.
It's been Monday in times past.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that will hold. I would suspect Monday. No, I'm just now looking. HB has us all the way through Tuesday, February the 11th. So.
Okay. Do you think we'll be able to ask Sousa about his relative John Phillip?
Yeah, I'm sure he would catch that. I'm sure he would totally understand what you're asking, what you're really saying.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'll let you introduce that then to Nolan Souza. And that will probably be the last day we'll have him on. Man, we had him for less than 30 minutes. What happened? Rick said something about John Philip Souza, and he went, huh?
Baseball players have senses of humor.
And you should have said, and the band plays on.
That's right.
Brian, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Brian?
Man, I was going to say, I noticed that it seems like the older I get, the quicker the season's flipping the Razorback sports. I'm ready for baseball now. I'm excited about the baseball. And man, I just wonder, y'all think there's a chance next year Calipari holds more than 9 players?
Yes. Wouldn't you think so?
If I am going to go to bet Saracen and have them put that as odds at 9 and below or 9 and above,
I'll take the above.
I'm going the above.
I think you could set it at like 10.5. And I was going to hit on one thing that
that's what I'm thinking.
That Rick said. So I think we got a couple halves on there now, so I don't know how they would do that. But as far as Saquon Barkley, he didn't break the individual season rushing record, but he did break the all-time rushing record for season and playoff combined.
Yes, he did.
Terrell Davis had like 23-31, and I think he's at 24-47 with a game to go.
Hey, Brian.
So,
Hey, Brian, are you superstitious? Rick is not. So I don't even want to ask him this question because he'll rail for about 5 minutes, and I'll be asleep. You'll be asleep. So I'll ask you: are you superstitious?
Man, that's certain things.
Okay. Are you superstitious over what colors that the teams participate in the Super Bowl? Are you superstitious about whether they wear their home colors or whether they wear the white, which indicates they're the visitors?
Well, see, I'm pretty lucky here. See, I'm legally blind, so, I don't really see a whole lot of colors.
Ah!
So,
so if I tell you,
I just go
the Eagles are going to wear green. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to wear white.
Oh, no, green wins. That's the money color.
So do you realize over the past 20 years, the team wearing white, over the last 20 years, the team wearing white has gone 16-4. They've won 16, lost 4.
Really?
Do you realize when Patrick Mahomes is wearing white, get this note, he has never lost a postseason game wearing white. Well, now, what do you say about that, Brian?
So who made that? Who makes the decision?
Well, that makes sense because when he wears white, the guys in white and black also are on his team. So everybody that's wearing white on the field's kind of going for him.
Well, who decides what colors?
I'm sure it alternates. This year it would be the NFC. Then next year, I'm sure the AFC will be the home team.
Wow.
I just know next time Arkansas wears red or white, it'd be really cool to get a W. It'd be really cool to go wear white in Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go wear white in Kentucky. Get a W for me. Y'all, look, I don't have too many of
Well, no,
these-
you've already moved
these
on to
players.
baseball. You've already said you moved on to
Well,
baseball. What does it matter?
Right. Because, look, I'm a little superstitious here, see? If basketball can beat Kentucky, there's no way we don't win the World Series.
Well, basketball
that's
can beat Kentucky,
Our-
but
look,
they probably won't.
We've never had a coach come from Kentucky, coach us, go to Kentucky and win before. So if that happens, I have no doubt we win the World Series this year. I mean, that's basically fact.
Pelfrey never
Brian,
went at
thank
Kentucky.
you.
Of course,
I
he
want a
didn't
shirt
come.
that says it's basically fact.
Yeah. Pelfrey didn't come from Kentucky. He played at Kentucky. I guess he never won at Lexington, huh?
Well, not many actually win at Lexington when you get
No.
down to it.
No, it's tougher.
I'm
looking right now. Hey, by the way, do you know what Arkansas's record was after 7 conference games last year under Musselman?
2-5.
1-6.
1-6.
1-6.
We know what kind of disastrous season that was.
Yeah. So Arkansas has not regressed. But they did win the next game, so they could be about to.
Right. I can't wait to hear from Neal. Neal he will lay it out.
I'm going to guess Kentucky. It'll be double digits.
Absolutely.
Although, probably don't have it out yet.
Not yet. Drive Time Sports will continue.
Live fan feedback on 103.7 The Buzz is powered by Whit Davis Lumber Plus. Whit Davis Lumber Plus, more than a lumber yard.
Fort Thompson's in Sherwood end-of-season apparel sale going on now. 40% off select apparel throughout the store. Get stocked up now. Fort Thompson in Sherwood has the gear you need. Save 40% on select apparel throughout the store.
There's a reason I've been running my Big Green tractor all these years. When I need to get the job done before hitting the road, I can count on Greenway's reliable John Deere equipment to get my property in shape. From small to large tractors and a wide range of implements, I know I'm getting equipment that works as hard as I do.
The man known for creating sports awards has finally earned his own. The entire Buzz team would like to congratulate our own David Basil on being named the Arkansas Sports Broadcaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association. David, thank you for your passion and hard work on Morning Mayhem and your many other endeavors. Congrats, Baz, and here's to a great 2025.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
Arkansas broadcast legend Craig O'Neill joins Morning Mayhem each week, presented by Petty G Meats, locally owned and operated for 4 generations. With Petty G Meats, people always know where their meat is coming from, made right here in Arkansas.
Orange is not your color, and stripes are for zebras. It's criminal not to hire Lion Legal. There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of legal lions. When in war, you need the roar. For exceptional communication and exceptional results in all criminal-related legal matters, hire Lion Legal to come roaring to the rescue.
This is Pat Bradley for Wood Grill Buffet. Wood Grill has the state's largest and freshest buffet with 190 items, including 30 meat items, food bar, salad bar, and dessert bar. Wood Grill is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. They have 2 large private dining rooms, and Wood Grill also does catering. Wood Grill Buffet can drop off any order with staff service for 25 to 1,000 people. Wood Grill is at exit 118 in Benton, 1916 Congo Road, or call 501-778-9656. Check them out.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. You've got Drive Time Sports locked in on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. I think I need to bring in Perry Mason. The case of the missing buzzer. Good afternoon, Mr. Neal Atkinson.
How are you doing, Mr. Rainwater?
Well, it's been a wonderful day, and we are already having this loud discussion over Kentucky versus Arkansas. Brian, a moment ago, believes that there should be a white jacket worn by John Calipari. I don't think he'll wear the blue one. He does now at least have 2 different versions of red that he's worn recently. And I'm believing, I know the line is not out yet for Kentucky. I got to believe it's going to be double digits, just like it's double digits tonight for Tennessee versus Kentucky, all because of one player, the forward being out.
Yep, I think that's going to be a big factor of whether or not he is back and what the line's going to be. And of course, and you know, we'll see how Kentucky does against Tennessee tonight. I mean, wow, it's 10.5 points right now on Bet Saracen, and even I'm looking here right now. Some of the lines have moved to 11 on that one for Tennessee. It is in Knoxville, so. But then again, maybe they're. I don't know what the Kentucky coach is going to do or not. But probably not looking ahead. But they are looking ahead with Calipari coming back in. I just hope Arkansas can use that to their advantage. And I'm thinking the spread may probably be about 10. I haven't run it. I'll run it after tonight's stats and see what it is. And if I can get it up early, I will. But we'll see what happens tonight. A lot of basketball to be played in SEC the next 2 days, and then we'll get the lineup for Saturday.
There you go. All right, what else is going on by way of Bet Saracen?
Well, right now it's really all about basketball between the NBA and the NCAA. We're a little under 2 weeks from the Super Bowl. Line really hasn't moved any. Kansas City still favored by 2.5. Over and under still 49.5. We will start putting out all the exotic specials here in a little bit. Probably not today or tomorrow, but probably before the weekend. That will be all of your fun Super Bowl type prop bets. There's already 347 different player prop markets that you can already bet on the game, especially the milestones or the alternate lines if you scroll over and do that on the app. But there's a lot to pick from, and we're going to have a little fun with it. And don't forget, you got the NHL still going on, and little golf action too. And we're starting to see a big uptick in bets on the women's game also. So seeing that, last night we took a lot of money on South Carolina versus Tennessee relatively to most women's games. So people are starting to pay attention to it again.
Where can they find this good stuff, Neal?
Go to BetSaracen.com on the web, or from your phone, just go to the App Store, type in Bet Saracen, download the app. You can see the specials, the Super Bowl lines that we've got up, and be ready to see the Arkansas-Kentucky line for this Saturday. Hit that registration button, and in 5 minutes you'll be betting on your favorite team, player, or sport.
All right, Neal. We will talk with you tomorrow, Neal Atkinson, by way of Bet Saracen. Now, I don't know if this is the right one or not, but I'm going to play it nevertheless.
Baseball season is in full swing, and you don't want to miss a thing. It's time for Around the Horn with Kevin Bohannon. Around the Horn is brought to you by Stanley Wood.
Nope. That's not.
Almost had it. It was almost there.
I was ready to intercept that one. All right, I'm going to take that one. I'm just going to delete that one, Kramer, okay?
Yep.
That way I won't play it again. Yeah. Okay. Delete event. Done. All right, thanks to Fence Brokers, Caressa Walker, our man. Now, I can't tell you, Kevin, how many times this happens. You're scheduled at 4:30. We get the callers lined up. I mean, they're backed up, mainly to protest about the things that Rick has already said. So, protest.
And Randy can't buzz Rick on
and I
anything
can't
today.
buzz him, but I'm telling you, I'm bringing in Perry Mason. I'm going to find out where that buzzer is, and then I'm if need be, I'm bringing my own personal buzzer from home.
Oh, boy.
But here is Bobby. Bobby, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Hey, when is Chris Turnage on?
Thursdays. Thursday at 5:30.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, but I wish you'd ask him Thursday night. I was thinking it was Thursday night. I'm usually listening. What would it be like, or what steps would you go if you were a coach potentially applying for the game, the Dallas Cowboy job or the New York Jet job? What would an interview with the owners be like? What would they ask you? What would you do? Would you sell yourself? Would you sell yourself on your philosophy of football? Would you go play golf? What would you do to get comfortable to talk openly about your philosophy of football?
All right, Bobby, thank you. We'll ask that question. I would think they bring in basically, and Kevin, you can jump in. You may know this even from a baseball standpoint. They bring in basically a dog and pony. They have a PowerPoint where they're showing their philosophy, their system, their plan. They get into all that. My understanding is the first meeting that they had with Brian Schuttenheimer was an 8-hour meeting. An 8-hour meeting with Schuttenheimer. Why would you take that long to have a meeting with Schottenheimer when he's inside your building? Yeah. Don't you know what the guy's either capable of doing or what his thoughts are?
Well, at that point, you want to find out a little bit more because there's so many different scenarios that a head coach goes through versus an offensive coordinator.
Correct.
Like when I was at Sylvan Hills, Jim Withrow had to go through so many more things that I didn't as an assistant coach. Or, when I was coaching baseball, there were things that Andy handled and I was able to handle, but he was the one that got to handle so many different things. So you really don't know how you're going to handle them until you're in those type of situations. There's a couple of jobs that are just really on-the-job training, and you can only take from past experiences how you would apply to those hypothetical scenarios in the future. So in the investments that are made at the professional level, whether it be in business, athletics, or anything, you peel back the onion as much as you can. As an owner for a professional organization, as the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you have to peel back the onion as much as possible to make that kind of investment.
And I'm guessing that usually, particularly if a guy's been a head coach, and this Schottenheimer I don't believe has been, but they're going to bring in maybe their organizational playbook that they've used in the past, how they administrate their staff, how they deal with players and all of that. They'll have a lot of they may have a whole book that they hand to the owner and say this is all about me. And obviously you may answer they're not going to sit there and read it while they're talking to you, or maybe they get it ahead of time, which allows them to ask some specific questions that they otherwise wouldn't have. But to Kevin's point, yeah, they're going to be very, very thorough in everything that they ask. Very, very few times do you say, boy, this guy just said something that makes me think he's the coach. We'll say one sentence or something. Now, I'm guessing when Bill Belichick went and talked to North Carolina, he probably was interviewing them as much as they were interviewing
exactly.
him.
Yeah,
because
good point.
But that's a rare instance when you have a coach that's that accomplished.
All right, gentlemen, we've got one more caller. We think we do anyway. Brent, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Good afternoon, Randy and Rick, and good
Kevin.
Good afternoon, Kevin. I really enjoy your
segment
on football and baseball insight.
Thanks, Brent.
As a matter of fact, I met you at the Holiday Inn Springdale. It was during baseball season last spring, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, we met before we were down there for the Ole Miss series.
Yeah, that's right. The Ole Miss series. Yep. Yes, sure was. I'm gonna tell you what. I'll take all the losing we've done in football and basketball this year for our Hogs to win a national championship, and I really believe down deep in my heart, Coach Van Horn believes this is the deepest team he's had in a very, very long time, with everything combined, with pitching and hitting and everything. And I would just like to hear your response to that.
Thank you, Brent.
Thanks, Brent. I appreciate it. And we saw a lot of it as media fans, saw a lot of it this weekend, how deep this roster is from a talent standpoint. The starters, the projected starters. So when I was writing my weekend recap, they change jerseys every day, but the projected starters, the bulk of them were on the same team. You know, you had Charles Devilan in center field, Justin Thomas, Logan Maxwell were in the outfield. They were on the same team. Brent Iredale and Ryder Helfrich and Vahiva Alois and Nolan Sousa. So you were strong up the middle, like I always talk about. Then you had your outfield spot. Rocco Pepe started at first base 2 of the 3 games. On Saturday, Michael Anderson was at first base on the projected starter lineup. He hit a home run. He was 2 for 4 with a double and a 2-run home run. So he was a transfer from Rhode Island. 6'3", 230, and swings the bat really well. There were a lot of good things from this weekend. It was in the 40s, so pitching was going to be ahead of the hitting. It's hard to hit when it's 40 degrees out there, and you've got 92-mile-per-hour cutters coming in on lefties and 96, 97-mile-per-hour fastballs exploding on you up in the zone. It's just tough to hit. So I believe that this is one of his deepest rosters. The talent potential is there. Justin Thomas had an RBI triple on Friday. You got to see his speed. He was at Georgia before he went to Northwest Florida, junior college. It's just a matter of getting the right chemistry on. We know in the transfer portal era, it's hard to get chemistry and build chemistry that's to make these teams go to the highest level that they can. The good thing is the pitching staff, I think the weekend rotation is working itself out right now. Coach Van Horn said that he wanted these guys to get out there and show them. And I believe Gabe Gackel is going to be your Friday night guy. And then after that, I think you go with Zach Root or Gage Wood on Saturday and the others on Sunday. Those are your top 3 right now. Gage Wood gave up a hit on a hit and run that ended up scoring Brent Iredale after he walked him. But we'll get to the rest of that after the break. But this is a very talented squad.
All right, hang tight, Kevin. We will step away for a moment. Rick Schaefer, along with yours truly, Randy Rainwater. Thanks again to Chris Walker, Fence Brokers, for making Kevin possible. Around the Horn, Drive Time Sports will continue in a moment.
The Zone Hotline on 103.7 The Buzz is presented by Jim's Razorback Pizza with 2 locations, Highway 10 past Taylor Loop and just off the Morgan Maumelle exit.
What's good, y'all fellas? Let me get your attention one time, man. If you're often feeling tired, lacking motivation and drive, gaining weight, or noticing a loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone. Here's the deal. Don't wait. Find out right now and get back to living your best life. Clint Sterner here for Low T Center, y'all. At Low T Center, they make it easy to get your levels checked. It's just a simple test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get results back right then and there. Low T Center, it's not your typical doctor's office, fellas. Their physicians specialize in treating low T with testosterone replacement therapy, better known as TRT, for each patient. The experts at Low T Center, they have over a decade of experience helping patients. And this is super important, so y'all listen up. Their personal treatment plans are optimized for each patient. These aren't just basic standard treatments. For current patients right now at Low T Center, they're offering you $150 referral credit for each new patient that you refer. And at Low T Center, you can also get your health evaluated for treatment with prescription GLP-1 weight loss medication. So get back to living your best life, man. Go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health.
Looking for incredible deals? Look no further than Red River Auto Group, where their savings are as big as our selection. Cruise into a new 2024 Ford Bronco Sport starting at just $28,388. Need a truck? Get up to $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2024 Ram 1500. Plus, we've got a ton of new Toyota vehicles in stock, ready to roll off the lot. And don't forget our huge selection of pre-owned vehicles. Shop online at redriverauto.com.
If you already scheduled your garage door tune-up for just $79, please disregard this message. If you don't have a garage door, you're off the hook. For the rest of you, why would you spend more than just $79? Overhead Door Company of Little Rock will perform their garage door tune-up and safety inspection for just $79 on up to 3 garage doors and openers. Call 501-510-6399 or schedule online, overheaddooroflittlerock.com.
Hey Arkansas, Montana with Hubbard Power Sports in Russellville. We're your Arkansas Can-Am and Sea-Doo dealer. Are you looking for your next adventure? On the road, on the water, or in the trails? We've got the ride for you. At Hubbard Power Sports, Can-Am, and Sea-Doo of Russellville, we are proud to say we offer the best customer service around. We've won multiple awards for our level of excellence in many different categories, but our customer service is the one we're the most proud of. Come and see us Monday through Saturday or give us a call. See our current inventory, apply for financing, and value your trade at our website, hubbardpowersports.com.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury. Only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. You've got Drive Time Sports locked in on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. We'll be rejoined in a moment by Kevin Bohannon as we go around the horn, thanks to Chris Walker and Fence Brokers. Looking for a great place to work? Go to doublebees.com and apply online. And don't forget the great food options. We talk about those a lot. Chester's Chicken, Big Rock Pizza. Valentine's Day's coming up soon, folks. If you're looking for a gift, Double B's has Exxon and Phillips 66 gift cards available. And they've got the great ice cream islands, I'll call them, in both Clinton and Cabot. Don't forget about those. Whoa, they've got some outstanding selections. And I've talked about sign up and pay with your Exxon credit card. You'll get 10 cents off a gallon at the pump. And be sure and sign up for your rewards card. We can always get save money on purchases at all the stores. That's Double B's, where you gas it, grab it, and go make it Double B's. I don't have a liner to play for you, Kevin, so we'll just, here comes Kevin Bohannon, now brought to you by Chris Walker and Fence Brokers. How about that?
You sound just like Shotgun. That's great.
I know, that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, we should have that next week. I got the promo today. But Fence Brokers, yeah, thanks to Chris Walker. Their motto is going the extra mile. So if you need them for your fence needs, whether it be residential or commercial, give them a call. Back to Razorback baseball, which is what we're here for. I know high school baseball starts next month, but Razorback baseball had their first practice over the weekend, 3 scrimmages, and we got to talk a little bit about it. And we were talking about the starting rotation, the way it's taking shape now. The good thing for Dave Van Horn and Coach Matt Hobbs is they've got 4 games their first weekend, so they get to have 4 starters. I do believe it will be, like I said before the break, Gabe Gackle, Gage Wood, Zach Root, and then Landon Beidelshees. Cole Gibbler could work himself into that rotation as well. Gibbler, very touted left-handed pitcher. Coach Van Horn was afraid that they might not get him. He might go in the draft. He valued himself really high and valued him out of the draft. Carson Wiggins, the younger brother of Jackson Wiggins, was the other freshman that made a start this weekend. Ran into a little bit of trouble with his command in the first inning and then settled down in the second. So 20 pitchers threw over the weekend, Randy. And the one that really impressed me the most, freshman Ross Felder from Springdale Harbor. Felder's been a big name in high school baseball over the last 3 years. Led Harbor to back-to-back state championships and looked good. He came in the bottom of the second inning in relief of Wiggins and pitched 2 1/3 inning, 4 strikeouts, scattered 2 hits, threw 24 strikes on 33 pitches. And if you're a freshman and you want to pitch, throw strikes. Bottom line, throw strikes. End of the day, if you can't throw strikes, you can't even get on the mound. So Felder did a lot to move his name up in the pecking order of things. Colin Fisher, who ended last season with an injury, he got roughed up a little bit this weekend, went an inning and a third, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, had a walk, no strikeouts. Ben Bybee looked really good, went 2 1/3. He and Felder were the pitchers that went the longest in terms of innings pitched. Bybee went 2 1/3, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. So if you look at the junior class, Randy, and that includes Parker Coyle, who struck out all 3 batters in his 1 inning of action, Ben Bybee, Gage Wood, and Christian Fouch. Fouch had 3 strikeouts on Friday in his only inning of work. Fastball was 97-98, and he's got a new cutter, guys. The cutter is a game changer. It works 90 to 92. He can run it in on lefties and run it away from righties. So there was a lot of hype over Christian Fouch in the preseason. A lot of people came to me asking, why is he not on draft board? Why are people not talking about him? Because he has the frame. He's 6'4", 230. He can throw 100 miles an hour if he needs to. It's the body of work. He only threw 22 innings, I believe, last year. That .81 ERA, sub-1 ERA looks really good, but the body of work. So if he comes out, has a dominant year, Matt Cronin-esque from 2018, 2019, you can see him go up boards. The problem with projecting a closer in the professional ranks is kind of like Ben Joyce out of Tennessee. Joyce was just a closer at Tennessee. Is he going to be able to be a reliever at the professional ranks, or is he going to be a starter? So I imagine they'll want to stretch out Fouch a little bit this year to where he can go 2 innings, 2 1/3 innings. Build that count up to where he can be a real true weapon and not just a 1 or 2 batter guy.
All right, Kev, this from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. I think I can answer this safely, but nevertheless, is there a Hagen Smith type pitcher on the roster?
Is there one in college baseball?
I think I can answer that one, but I'll let you answer it.
And the answer to that one is no, there's not. And Hagen Smith was a generational talent, and that's only going to come along every 15 or 20 years. Now, with that said, Gabe Gackle has the ability to have that type of season. If you look back over the past, since 2017, that's the current streak that Arkansas is on with having the most wins in college baseball. They've had really good Friday night starters. Blaine Knight, Isaiah Campbell, Hagen Smith, Patrick Wicklander, Trevor Steffen. All of those guys are pitched in the professional ranks, with a couple of them making it to the major leagues. Now, of course, Hagen Smith was a top 5 draft pick. That's not going to come along every often. But Gabe Gackle has first-round talent. He can run his fastball up to 97, 98, devastating curveball. He works on his third and fourth pitch. He's going to have the potential to be a first-round draft pick in 2026.
I was looking over some of the numbers from this past weekend. You talked about somewhat of the starters, one name that you did not have, and I'm sure we will continue, at least I will. I'll continue to ask about him. Seems like every time we talk, and that is Kendall Diggs. I was somewhat maybe surprised. Did I read that correctly or understand that correctly? Is Kendall back doing at least a little bit in the outfield? I was thinking he was either going to DH this year or at the most playing first base only.
Yeah, I had him at first base. He might have played an inning or two when they shuffled him around, but he was at first base for a couple of starts. He hit well. He was 3 for 7, had a double. I believe that was in Saturday's game. And had 3 RBIs on the weekend. So 3 for 7. He went 0 for 2 his first game. Didn't strike out any over the weekend. That was the big thing that I took from Kendall Diggs in his plate appearances this weekend. So no strikeouts, 7 plate appearances. That was huge to get his confidence back. Coach Shane Horn talked about it in his preseason press conference that Kendall Diggs is a man now. He improved his lower half. He's a grown man. He's going to be a big part of this team. It's just a matter of where and when.
What about the younger Aloy? Where do you see him fitting into this picture?
If he hits, he can be a good DH. He played right field with the projected starters on Sunday. He was 1 for 6, had a double, had 2 strikeouts. He has a lot of he has a big high swing and miss rate right now, Randy. So I think he needs to settle into SEC pitching. We know he has power. He can hit double-digit home runs. It's just a matter of, can he be a 290 to 310 hitter, and where does he factor in at? He could be a DH. He gets some lefties. I think he's more of a matchup right now as far as where he's at on the pecking order.
All right, the older brother, Fahave Aloy. It didn't sound like, Kev, they did anything. They didn't tinker with that big, long swing that he had when he played in was it the Cape Cod he played this past summer? He had a great year. Yeah, had a great year. Did they pretty much leave that swing along? It didn't seem like he struck out as much in the Cape Cod League.
He didn't, and this past weekend he had 9 plate appearances, went 3 for 8, scored 4 runs, only had 2 strikeouts. So with him, it's about swinging at bad pitches, and we saw that last year, that he got himself out too much. So it's more about plate discipline with him. He's going to hit the ball and hit it hard.
All right, Kevin, we look forward to next Tuesday when we go around the horn, thanks to Chris Walker and Fence Brokers. Coming up next, Trey Biddy, hogsports.com, being brought to you by Chris Green Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Stay tuned.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See Agent Steve Ferguson in Little Rock, Bo Beavis in Cabot, or Daniel Vickers in Sherwood.
Have questions about retirement, investments, or your money? Call our financial hotline. Dial 501-381-5228 and leave a voicemail with your specific financial question, and our experts will answer it on the Get Ready for the Future show Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Get your financial questions answered by the pros. 501-381-5228. Call now. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Genwealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Roger and David are taking the Mayhem to Sherwood this Friday to spend the morning with Mr. Fletcher and the crew at Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Check them out at FletcherDeals.com.
More fun and games than an amusement park arcade. 1037 The Buzz, KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
The Jefferson County Quorum Court failed to pass a budget for a fourth time now. Now the county shutdown continues as employees go 3 weeks without a paycheck. Judge Gerald Robinson's revised budget actually passed the Budget and Finance Committee by one vote, but it failed once it moved to the full Quorum Court. Heroes Behind the Line and several partner groups will provide meals and supplies for employees who are not getting paid. That is tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Whitehall Community Center. Donations can be dropped off at the Community Center or the Robinson and Fuller Whitehall Funeral Chapel. RDOT will be closing more lanes of I-40 in North Little Rock today. Starting at 8:30 this morning, crews will shut down alternating lanes of I-40 westbound and eastbound near exit 153B. Those will reopen at 8 tonight. Crews are doing surface treatment on the pavement to decrease the chance of hydroplaning on wet roads. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888 for Rainwater Holton Sexton. They'll help you weather the storm.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
Clouds will slowly increase through this afternoon, but temperatures will stay mild. We'll be warming up into the upper 50s and the lower 60s later on this afternoon. Clouds will linger overnight tonight, keeping us milder. We'll drop down in the 30s and 40s, and we're back up in the 60s for your Wednesday afternoon. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
What's going on, everyone? DJ Williams here with the Buzz, and Wednesday, y'all know what it is. One of my favorite days of the week. Why? Because Joe Klein's going to be in studio along with Coach Kevin Kelly. That's thanks to the Little Rock Athletic Club. Coach Kelly is always fun having those two come up, especially since Kansas City is going to be playing in the Super Bowl. We'll see what they have to say about that. Also, when it comes to talking about football, Michael Felder is going to join us, and we also got Lane Taylor. That's thanks to the Bannerstead Lee Blum Clinic. It's going to be fun keeping up with him and everything going on at UCA. Make sure you tune in The Zone, where sports and entertainment come crashing together.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poen is a proud sponsor of Nolan Richardson on Drive Time Sports. Founded over 10 years ago by Daniel and Vanessa Ellison, Arkansas Municipal Equipment specializes in refuse and recycle equipment. They lease and sell trucks, trash carts, and roll-off dumpsters. But they don't just sell it to you. You can get parts and service for all makes and models for refuse equipment. Their technicians travel the state to take care of you.
AME, it's the service after the sale.
Hello, Buzz listeners. It's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. It's the end of the month, and we need to sell 27 new vehicles before Friday night. Frank Fletcher said if I wanted to keep my job, we better hit this goal. So we're offering preferred pricing on every new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram in stock. Preferred pricing is our lowest possible price, and we'll show you the factory paperwork to prove it. You'll need to get here before Friday night. Everything goes back to regular price Saturday morning, up to $13,000 off all new Rams. New Grand Cherokees as low as $38,997. That's right, a brand new Grand Cherokee, third row seat for under $40,000. We also have $6,000 discounts on all new Jeep Wranglers, up to $13,000 off all new Rams, and the new Jeep Compass starting at only $375 a month. Just tell us what you want and how much you want to pay, and we'll do the rest. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood, or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
When you do something for over 45 years, you get really good at it. Like Alan here. He's been making balloon figures for over 45 years. Using his nimble fingers, he can shape a working metal detector, a full-size replica of the Statue of Liberty, even a brontosaurus. Amazingly lifelike Alan. We're a lot like Alan making balloon figures, except we do it with insurance. Williamson Insurance, protecting your business and your family for over 45 years.
If you have a passion for adventure and unmatched quality, then head to Honda of North Little Rock for the best lineup of quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. They have Honda's best models and will find the perfect ride just for you. That's Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Hello, this is Justin Acree. If foot or ankle pain is slowing you down, it's time to visit the experts at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. Doctors Martin, Matthews, and Parham provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for foot and ankle issues. From common problems to more serious conditions, they're here to get you back on your feet, literally. Call Ortho at 501-686-TOSH to schedule your appointment today and get back to living pain-free. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Heroes come in different shapes and sizes, such as evidenced by Madeleine Raffaut, who died recently at the tender age of 100. As a teen, she was humiliated and tortured for 3 weeks by the occupying Nazis. She escaped and joined the French resistance and celebrated her 20th birthday by helping capture 80 Nazis on an armored supply chain. She became known as the girl who saved Paris. Raffaut became a national hero. She even had her portrait drawn by Picasso, a French hero and citizen of the world. You'll be a hero if you stop by Doublebee's and pick up a few $5 boxes to take to a friend or coworker. For a paltry price, you can bring some golden deliciousness of chicken and biscuits into someone's life. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 2 at Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city.
And now, Trey Biddy is brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai, Arkansas's #1 Hyundai dealer, and Genesis of Conway, Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today. Now, here's Trey Biddy.
Good afternoon, Trey.
Hey, guys.
What is going on today?
Nice and quiet, Randy. Nice and quiet.
It is kind of quiet, isn't it, on the Razorback front?
I thought it was interesting.
Calm before the storm. Yeah. No basketball game midweek. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting, Trey, that it is being reported that a Texas high school football coach, is it Che Hendricks, added to the support staff, which he will be a defensive analyst working with the Nickelbacks. But he had a 71-19 record down in San Antonio. He led his high school team to a Class 4A Division I state runner-up finish in 2022. Previously coached at Frisco Heritage, career record of 101-62. What is interesting, though, he happens to have a couple of talented sons. One is a walk-on for the University of Arkansas. His youngest, Hank, is a 4-star quarterback prospect.
Well, that's intriguing.
Yeah.
What year is his son?
Hank Hendricks. He is a sophomore quarterback. He has an offer from Arkansas. He completed 274 of 389 passes for 4,237 yards, 46 touchdowns, 6 interceptions last year, rushed for 104 yards and 1 touchdown. On3.com rates him a 4-star recruit, the number 4 quarterback, and the number 34 overall prospect in his class, and the number 7 prospect in Texas. With his dad moving to Fayetteville, do you think that means Hank Hendricks will be moving to Fayetteville with his parents or with his father?
That's a good question. That is a good question, Randy, because, I mean, I would have no idea, but obviously with Chad Morris's son,
Chandler never
didn't happen.
Nope.
No, but he was in his last year, so maybe this would be different. Barry Oden's son came and then left and came back without Barry.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be something interesting to watch. But
sound like a pretty good prospect to me.
I bet Fayetteville High School hopes
definitely.
that he moves here. I would guess if he lived in Fayetteville, that's where he'd play, right?
Yeah, I guess he could go just about anywhere, depending on where they
school choice.
But
right, yeah, we get school choice too. Yeah.
This is another one, Trey, off of On 3, and this was a look at the top portal departures by school. Did you realize? I did not. I didn't realize Clemson lost just 5 players to the portal. Even less than that was SMU. SMU just lost 3 players to the portal. That's amazing, especially when they had the kind of year that they just had.
Well, and particularly since their coach was complaining that while they were getting ready for the playoffs, that they were being people were trying to steal their players. That is amazing. They must have lots of money.
There's people who have said that SMU's doing well in the transfer portal game as far as NIL goes. And obviously they're using that to keep players. Now, we know Dabo isn't a big fan of the portal and building a roster through the transfer portal, so maybe that's where they're making their investment in the guys that they brought in.
Yeah, and they're keeping them apparently. The winner, at least from the December transfer portal, turned out to be Washington State. They lost 36 players. 36 players.
Wow.
Purdue was next at 32. Barry Odom takes over at Purdue, and he's got to replace 32 players. Number 3, doggone it, number 3, Arkansas. 30 players, according to On 3.
That's not accurate, but
well, plus they've already got.
We're counting scholarship.
Right?
We're counting scholarship players and
they must
walk-ons.
be counting walk-ons, yeah. And don't they? What do they have in 20? Is it 21 have come in transfer portal? Is it that many?
Yeah, 22 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would count walk-ons.
I'm not sure either. I mean, the ones that listed.
I mean, I don't mean to say who cares, but who cares?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Offensive lineman Josh Braun went to Kentucky. Tight end Luke Haas went to Ole Miss. Jalen Braxton, Ole Miss. Offensive lineman Patrick Kudus, Ole Miss. Linebacker Brad Spence, Texas. Isaiah Satania, Oklahoma. Addison Nichols, On 3's top 100 transfer portal rankings, headed SMU. That's just some of the key players that were lost. Oklahoma lost 29.
Arkansas lost some good players. I mean, Luke Haas, obviously, he's been beaten up the last 2 years. Jalen Braxton, who's also been beaten up. Patrick Kudus, who's also been beaten up.
Well,
I'm just saying that they lost a lot of
guys.
They lost a lot of guys that have been beaten up. I mean, I think Tevis Metcalf is a good player. I think T.J. Metcalf had a chance to be a really good player too. Scratch that, reverse it. They lost some good players. That my problem isn't so much that I don't look at what they lost and think just, oh my gosh, just unbelievable, irreplaceable. Haas would probably be the closest thing, but again, he was hurt most of last year. My more issue is that I don't feel like they brought in just a ton of guys where you're just like, wow, this guy right here is going to be a game changer for him. That would be my bigger issue with the portal versus who they lost. I don't look at like Josh Braun or Addison Nichols and go, oh my gosh, they're just unreplaceable. Or even Isaiah Satania. There's a ton of guys in the transfer portal as good as him. I think they probably got some guys just as good as him. Probably a couple of guys as good as Isaiah Satania. But did they get anybody to take them up another step? I don't know that I see that as much. Now, maybe there's a guy like a David Oak who came from Abilene Christian who had 63 tackles as a defensive tackle. That's a lot of tackles. Maybe he's a guy that would be something like that. We talked about Jaden Platt, who was higher ranked as a recruit in the same class at tight end than Luke Has was, but hasn't done anything yet. Luke Has obviously has. So, maybe he's a guy that would do that. Shaq McCroy was a former top 100 prospect, 6'8", 365, who's a redshirt freshman. Maybe he's a guy like that. Courtney Crutchfield, number 43 ranked overall prospect in the nation in the class of 2024. Maybe he would be that. But the thing you have with like the guys that were ranked high is, they haven't really done anything yet. And then you've got, guys that come from smaller schools, like Cam Shanks at UAB or Raylan Sharp at Fresno State, guys that were highly productive. I mentioned David Oak also, who are highly productive on the lower level. So you got that group of guys, and then you've got a group of guys who were, well-regarded recruits like Justice Boone, the defensive end at Florida, who played for them. He wasn't like a regular starter for them, but he played for them. He's been a contributor in the SEC, but hasn't been a star. So those are the kinds of players. Like I look at this roster a little bit and I go, who are your stars? Who are those guys that are going to line up against, Ole Miss next year, and you're going to go, this guy's going to win this battle? Those are kind of the questions I have. We'll find out a little bit more in the spring about some of these players. But did they take this roster to the next level would be my question.
One explanation given is from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line from the 479 says nobody wants to play for our loser head coach, so they leave.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why they leave
Well,
schools,
that's not
right?
it. That's not it entirely. I mean, there's money involved, and some players get processed. There's a lot of players on that list of quote unquote 30 who were processed by Arkansas, and there were others that they just didn't really want to fight for. I don't think that they probably felt that maybe Josh Braun was worth what maybe Kentucky was willing to pay him. There were some instances like that also, but. Yeah, I mean, I want to, like, where did Arkansas really get better? I think they got probably, at least on paper and from people I've talked to, I think they probably got better on the offensive line with this group that they brought in versus the guys that they lost. I'd say Kudus is probably the only guy that I would say, was probably a good player, and that's just really based on what you kind of hear from inside the program about how well Kudus is doing or how people think he could progress. The fact that he's the number 8 or 9 ranked transfer portal player in the country is a little absurd, quite absurd. He's not that good, but that's where he was ranked. But the other
and he
guys,
was beat up.
Yeah, he was beat up
Trey.
most of the year. Yeah. All the good guys, all the really good guys that they lost were beat up last year. That's just the fact of it.
I mean, he only played in 4 games, and then you had Braxton. What did he play? 2 games. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Braxton played 2. He played 4. Has was really battling a back issue since the Oklahoma State game.
Right.
And then Kudus, missed all up until the last part of the year. So, but yes, that's I do think that they got better overall in the offensive line, and a large part of that is just the competition that they're going to be able to have now with the guys that they brought in. And also Bubba Craig out of junior college ranks. I think he was a good addition for him too. Another 6'8" guy. So I think they got better there. I think that they potentially did in the secondary. Some guy was telling me, I was like, I think they got, better in the secondary. And, I wasn't even saying they were going to be good. I was just saying I think they got, and they were like, oh, all you media people, you said they were going to be awesome in the secondary last year. And I was like, so, okay. So I predicted them to go 5-7, but they were going to have this awesome secondary, I guess, is what I must have said. But, obviously losing Jalen Braxton was, hurt them in the secondary. I actually think the numbers overall don't tell the full story about the play in the secondary overall. I don't know that they were obviously. I wouldn't say they were a good secondary, but I don't know they were quite as bad as the numbers played out, especially maybe towards the end of the year. So, but I do think that they got sneaky good with Kene Walker out of Oklahoma, Jordan Young out of Cincinnati, two redshirt senior cornerbacks. Now, are these guys going to the NFL? I tend to think that redshirt seniors who are transferring probably aren't going to the NFL. Were the guys that they had last year in those spots going to the NFL? No, not going to the NFL. So, you know, maybe they got better. How much better did they get? That's kind of the question that I have all the way around. You know, not really a lot of work at linebacker in the portal. They still have work to do on the defensive interior. Defensive tackle, they got some work to do. They have got to go find another guy that they feel this player could come in and play a big role for us right out of the gate. That's what they have to find. You need 5. They've got 4, in my opinion, that are ready to go. So still a little bit of work to be done. We've talked about safety too. You know, Caleb Wooden at Auburn, you know, played a lot of football for them. You know, what kind of role is he going to play? Quintavious Scandry out of Eastern Michigan, 6'3", 200. Where will he fit in? You know, they've got Larry Worth and Miguel Mitchell, the guys that were starting at the end of the year at those spots. Those guys are back. So I do think that they potentially got better. I don't know that they, you know, there or offensive line or any of the spots, I don't know that they took this huge leap forward. But if they got better, if they got a little bit better everywhere, and they do make a big leap with Taylon Green at quarterback and get much better play out of him in year 2 out of this offense, then maybe that would help them get a big step forward. I mean, with Petrino in the past, like, you know, Willie Robinson's defense weren't just – everybody wasn't in love with Willie Robinson's defenses, but they were just good enough to where Arkansas could put together 10-win seasons because they were so good on offense.
LC, good afternoon. You got a question or comment for Trey?
Yes. We are only as good as our offensive line. Taylon Green will only be as good as our offensive line is. Wherever Josh Braun went, Kentucky. I'd be going, oh, my God, or whatever his name is. Yes. Good riddance. You know, Kentucky, is that where he went?
He went to Kentucky.
Yeah. Why in the hell, if I'm Kentucky, would you give this guy, he whipped so many blocks last year, and we are better off for him not being on our team. And I hate to get on a rant like this, y'all, but we're better off with these guys coming in than this guy who's been on his 3rd team in 5 or 7 years, whatever it is. So, you know, I just had to say that.
Well, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I don't want to have the Josh Braun rundown show, but I don't look at that as a loss, losing him. I don't look at Addison Nichols as this big loss. Or I think if they'd had anybody decent behind him, and all they had was Amari Wiggins, also not a loss, then I think they probably would have started somebody else at center. You know, I just think
absolutely
they didn't have very good numbers on the offensive line. They didn't have any competition hardly. They basically had 6 guys, and you know, they had a guy hurt. You know, so yeah, the offensive line wasn't very
good. Guys.
Thank you, LC.
They were still better than the offensive line the year before, but they were still subpar. And the goal is to hopefully get above par. Well, under par, but you know what I mean. Get better.
Got to get better. That's, you know, I was trying to remember again, Trey, and I forgot the term, but I think I got it back. Splash. They need some splash brothers in this spring portal. And that was my question for you. Do you remember, and you probably do remember, but the quality of players that are in the spring transfer portal, does it come close, or is it greater? And I know that Arkansas picked up some last year out of the spring transfer portal. Do you remember, or do you know what well, we don't know yet who's going to go in this spring,
right,
but
I think you can get some quality players, Randy. I don't know. It's not going to be like the huge wave you might compare it to, well, heck, it's probably better than the late signing period for high school recruiting. There's not really nobody really signs anymore in February. But there will be some players. Last year they got Steven Dix, who started the majority of games for them at linebacker. They got Larry Worth, who ended the year as a starter. They got Anthony Switzer, who was a solid contributor for him. He got banged up a little bit, but he was a solid contributor for them. Danny Saili, who played for him, didn't play a whole lot, but played. He was probably that fifth guy on the defensive line on the interior. And there were others that they got. They got one of their kickers. I'm not saying he was like out of this world, but one of the guys the guy that ended up winning the starting job at kicker, Ramsey, was a late portal addition. Joe Moore, who didn't ever play for him, I believe he was a late guy. So there are guys that you can get, and some quality guys. I mean, if Steven Dix was out there right now, in this early period, I'd obviously say take him right now. And they got him in a late period. Larry Worth, same deal. Larry Worth's projected starter at safety.
Okay, just asking.
From Arkansas, you had several guys leave. Snacks Johnson left. So technically he was an available guy, just not available to Arkansas. So yeah, there's definitely there'll be some hidden gems here and there. Maybe not guys that you look at and say, this guy's going to the NFL one day, but you don't always have to have that. Like, yes, it's great in this conference to have NFL players. But, a guy like Anthony Switzer, he was a solid player for them. I don't remember Anthony Switzer making a ton of bad plays. I remember him being, a veteran presence who was, probably an undersized linebacker, but had played a lot of football.
Around the ball a lot, too. All right, Trey, this from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. I don't have an answer for this, but I'm sure you do. Hey, Trey, who's on the pickleball team? Does NIL support that?
Well, the rise in popularity with pickleball is probably not going to be too much longer, but I have a pickleball injury from ninth grade.
No.
Ninth grade? You were playing then?
That's what everybody says. Everybody's like, they had pickleball then? But yeah. We in PE, Coach Hawkins, he was our ninth grade PE coach, and we basically would play what Coach Hawkins wanted to play, and he loved playing pickleball. So we played pickleball every day, like third period. It was fun.
But yet, you sustained an injury?
Oh, yeah, I slid into one of the poles and had to get stitches in my knee.
Oh, my. What a distinguishing injury. All right, Trey, we'll talk with you tomorrow. Trey Biddy, hogsports.com, being brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Drive Time Sports will continue.
It's your Razor Hog update on Out of Bounds, giving you updates from the hill. Presented by Bradford Marine and ATV, now carrying the 1650 Duck Boat, featuring a heavy-duty built timber hull.
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Well, speak of the devil. Devil's Smoke Sauce is back at Slim Chickens. That's right, a hot honey barbecue with sweet and smoky heat and a fiery kick of crushed habanero. It's great for dipping our famous hand-breaded tenders as a devilish shaken wing sauce, or try the new Devil's Smoke Sauce Mac Bowl meal. Devil's Smoke Sauce, a limited time addition to our 14 house sauces. Try it. We dare you. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
Bannister Leibwang presents UCA Bear Lane Taylor when he gets in the zone with Justin and DJ each Wednesday. Lane Taylor in the zone every Wednesday, courtesy of Bannister Leibwang Clinic in Conway, taking care of Conway for over 60 years.
Fort Thompson's in Sherwood end-of-season apparel sale going on now. 40% off select apparel throughout the store. Get stocked up now. Fort Thompson in Sherwood has the gear you need. Save 40% on select apparel throughout the store.
This is Justin Akery for my friends at CertaPro Painters. If you're getting ready to host family and friends, or you just need to spruce up the look of your most prized possession, your home, the easiest way to freshen up is with a new coat of paint. Let CertaPro Painters help you choose the perfect color to transform your space into one you'll love. Call your neighborhood CertaPro Painters and ask about their color consultation services. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Bet Saracen presents Pat Bradley every week when he checks in with Randy on Drive Time Sports. The Shooter on Drive Time Sports is brought to you by Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 mobile sports betting app. Download it today and win today.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, you feed your crave for sports by listening to Drive Time Sports. Much like you feed your crave at any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas. Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. The sushi bar special is back. Benihana. 2 can dine for $30 or $16.95 per person. You get to select from specialty sushi rolls. Choose one per person. The premium sushi roll and your choice of Benihana soup or salad, plus the famous Benihana fried rice. Folks, it doesn't get much better than that. 2 can dine for $30. We've had the 2 can dine for $60. We've had other great specials. Had the lobster just recently, the $29.95 special. This one is not for the steakhouse. This is for Benihana and the sushi bar special. The offer is valid at the sushi bar area only. No substitution, no modifications. And I've got to tell you, there are several on this list that I can say automatic, whether it's the shrimp lovers roll or whether the shrimp, can I tell I love shrimp, crunchy roll, or maybe the big island roll. You and one other person, if you're going for the dinner for 2 for $30, you get to select one of these specialty sushi rolls and then combine that with the choice of the soup or salad plus the fried rice. How about that deal? Benihana, 371-9000. Make sure to make a reservation. 371-9000. Be sure to make a reservation. Benihana, Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock. Tell them I sent you. Drive Time Sports sent you to Benihana to take the dinner for 2 for $30. Joined now by Kevin McPherson, better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of Hogville.net. Are you headed to Lexington? Are you going to be there on hand for Arkansas, Kentucky? I got to believe that's going to be, even with Arkansas's record, even where Arkansas is positioned right now in the SEC, Kevin, I still think that's going to be a pretty electric atmosphere this Saturday.
Yeah, now I won't be there. Had Arkansas been a little better position, I might have efforted the Rupp Arena trip, but I won't be making that trip, but I will be covering the game nonetheless. And I do think you're right. I think just because it's Calipari, the fact that he spent the previous 15 years there, he's a Hall of Fame coach, and Kentucky is the bluest of blue bloods in basketball, so this is, and there'll be some build-up for Arkansas. They've got the midweek bye, so no game Tuesday or tonight or Wednesday. So you basically had a week off between Saturdays. And it's on the mothership, ESPN, at 8 o'clock Central Time, so it's prime time. I mean, I think you're right, Randy. Despite Arkansas's record, Kentucky's having a good season, but despite Arkansas's record, I think there's just too many headlines there for this still not to be one of those national platform kind of games, just because of, again, the factors I mentioned.
Well, and there's a good chance Kentucky will be extra revved up because they're probably going to lose tonight at Knoxville, and so they'll feel like they need to win. And I don't know what Arkansas's. What do you think their incentive is right now, Kevin? As you're looking at a 1-6 record, which is what they were at this time last year, but they did come back and win 5 more conference games last year. What's the incentive at this point, and do you think that's even possible?
I think it's possible for them to get to 5 or 6 wins. I look at this as a tougher SEC. This is a team with fewer options when you look at the the top rotation that you plan. Your top shot creator and second leading scorer, one of the top assist players in the country, is gone. He's not coming back. So, I mean, if I had to choose between what Arkansas did after going 1-6 last year to get to 6-12 versus what John Pelfrey's did in 08-09 when that team lost its first 4 SEC games and had a SEC worst ever for Arkansas, 2-14, I'd say maybe somewhere in between those two in terms of total wins. Play a bit more games now. But this is a loaded SEC. I look at down there, and it's not that Arkansas can't win some of these games. It's just which ones you're going to look at now and predict an Arkansas win. I mean, LSU at home. Which other games? South Carolina, even though that team in 16th place at 0-7 in league play, Arkansas all alone in 15th, or was coming into the week in 15th place at 1-6. Even the Carolina game in March is on the road, and that team's played a lot of good teams, within one possession before losing.
Yeah.
They still lost those games, but I don't know where you look down the schedule and pick maybe more than 1 or 2 games where you're like, well, Arkansas could, if not should, win. So it's hard to project it, Rick. It's a long way to say. 6-12 looks awfully good right now based on where Arkansas is, but nobody wants to hear that. I think you need at least 7 wins with, so that'd be a final regular season before you go in the SEC tournament of 7-11. You'd need to get to that to be on the bubble for Arkansas, probably with 3 or 4 more quad 1 wins in addition to that Michigan win. I just don't see it. I don't see that. But if you went on the road and beat a top 10 ranked Kentucky team, or wherever they're ranked now, they've been ranked top 10. If you went and did that on Saturday, then that changes the complexion a little bit of what you might be able to do. But for now, it looks bleak.
Yeah, the odds of that aren't good. After 2 games, you were on our program, and you said, I could see this team going no better than 6-12. And obviously, after 2 conference games, there were those of us like me who was saying, what? No better than 6-12? I hate that you were right. What made you say that back then? And now, I'm not sure anybody would disagree with you.
Well,
and they had Boogie Fland back then.
Well, and even after they won that game against Michigan, they were in that 6-game winning streak. I remember you had asked me, do I think Arkansas is a good team right now? And I said, I'm not ready to go there yet, just based on one good win against Michigan. And you're right, a little bit later I did say that after. It was simple. Arkansas has not shown toughness, had looked really bad shooting from 3 of those first couple of SEC games. And you have one shot creator, Boogie Fland. Now, he's gone now, so it looks even – I mean, I'm not even sure I can – like I said, I can't even – it's hard to say 5-13 or 6-12 right now looking at it. But just multiple things and just the fact that this team had never really looked comfortable together. Even when they had little spurts and stretches in games, it just wasn't enough to feel like this team had the right pieces. And the other thing was, Nellie Davis and Jonas Adu have never looked the part of all-league kind of players. No. They haven't. So it was just a multitude of things kind of weighing, converging into what is this team really? And then the other part was just how good the SEC is. Just kind of blending all that together. It felt like that, Rick. And man, you said you hate to admit that I might be right. I hate to admit that I may be wrong. I think it could be worse. I'd love to be right about that right now, as bad as that sounds. nobody wants 6-12, but that looks kind of shiny from this man.
Oh, that'd be what, winning 5 of the, well, that'd be 5 and 6. I guess they could do that maybe, but I think you just made the point. We had a guy call last night, and he was saying we, meaning he's an Arkansas fan. He says, "Who do you think we can beat?" You know, and he played Stump the Band, because we're sitting there you just went through them, and you think they're probably not going to win at Kentucky. Texas isn't great, but they're pretty good, and look what they did to A&M. They're probably not going to win at Austin. And then Alabama at home, that's really unlikely, as good as Alabama is. And Alabama has won at Bud Walton before. And so, the next game you look at is LSU here as being at least a chance to win. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're on the road after that game, Auburn and A&M, okay, the double ouch. You will have home games against Missouri, who looks like a pretty good team, right? They're ranked and had won some big games, including Ole Miss and Florida. And that Florida win for Missouri was on the road. And then, you do have South Carolina and Vanderbilt on the road. I mean, again, Mississippi State, which is a really good team, you got them at home. I mean, and those last 3 teams I mentioned are all in March. But, yeah, I mean, if I was pointing to 1 or 2 games that Arkansas could win, it's probably LSU, and maybe they could claw out another win at home against one of the teams we just said. Texas will be back at Button. They return for the second game at Bud Walton Arena in the home and away this year. But I can't predict it against any of them, even LSU. I mean, there's only so many ways you could say this is not a good Arkansas team. But what's crazy about it is Arkansas had a formula the last week, playing at home, grind the game down, muck things up, just, try to figure out the way to be more physical than your opponent. You're playing at home, get to that free throw line. Arkansas settled for 27 threes. Yeah, they made 9 in this last game against OU, and then they were doing the same things they've been doing all year, finding ways and key moments to play, to do more than you would think they were capable of in terms of making a bad mistake. I mean, back-to-back defensive possessions, fouling three-point shooters against a team that was elite at the free throw line coming in, 80% on the season.
I know. Gosh.
Top 5 in Division I, 4th that day coming in, and you just can't do it. You can't say, okay, you're a good free throw shooting team, let me double down on this. I'm going to foul you on a three-point shooter, but I'm going to do it twice in a matter of a minute. How about that? Because we just built a 6-point lead after trailing by as many as 13, but we don't like that feeling of leading. Let's see what we can. I mean, I know that's exaggerated how I'm saying it, but it seems like when Arkansas needs to zig, they zag, and when they need to zag, they zig. They do the opposite of what they need to do to find ways to win.
They'll have spurts where they'll nearly catch up, or sometimes they do catch up, like they did against Oklahoma. Yeah. But it's not enough eventually to overcome some of the really bad stretches they have. Right. So you look at a game where they lose by 3, actually could have lost by 1, but at one point outscored 22-7. So that's a 15-point differential during one stretch of the game, which is a considerable stretch of the game, and then you lose by essentially 1 point.
Yeah. I mean, I even look at the last play that was drawn up after Arkansas took 2 timeouts. They took a timeout with 24 seconds left, dribbled the ball across midcourt, dribbled a little more, called timeout with 12.5 seconds left, set it up to run a play through Big Z as a passer, which that 2-man game had been working. If you noticed, it had been working.
Yeah, and he actually made a good pass. He made a good pass.
He made a good pass, and Nellie Davis drove baseline. But here's what I'm thinking, and I said this before the play, not after. It wasn't hindsight. Adu Theo just took you across the finish line against
I know.
The previous game a few days ago. He didn't just score the last 3 points. Remember, the previous Arkansas possession, he scored on a drive of the paint. Yeah. And this 5. Is a physical game in the 60s where you're getting to the foul line. Yeah. Get it in his hands and let him either get to the foul line or dunk. He's harder to stop. Nellie Davis, it was maybe his best game in total points. He didn't shoot well, and he's not a guy that once he drives has been a real effective finishing shots.
No.
I was questioning Yeah, so I didn't like that play call, even though Arkansas did get a good pass, and he did get an angle to the – and he might have been
but he had to shoot.
Guys.
He had
I'm
to
not
shoot.
sure.
He probably did get contact, but for him to score, he had to catch it and shoot it at the same time. Instead, he goes in there, and then, they didn't call the foul, and he had no chance to make it.
Hang tight, Kevin.
The backboard. Yeah. All right, thanks, Kevin.
We got to take a break. Rick Schaefer, Kevin McPherson, better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of Hogville.net. Drive Time Sports will continue in a moment.
Walt Coleman on Morning Mayhem is brought to you by Kentucky Derby winner Sigma Supply with Mystic Dan, now a part of Brady Plus. If you're not using Sigma Supply, you got low-grade product, man.
Gwatney Buick GMC is kicking off the new year by celebrating North Little Rock history with their first ever Old Mill Deal Sale. Just like the Old Mill itself, we're turning around the clock, making great car deals you can't refuse. Right now, 2025 Buick Encore GXs starting under $24,000. 2025 Buick Enclave starting at just $45,595. Winter weather is here, so get a 2024 four-wheel drive Canyon starting under $40,000. Or go full-size 4x4 with 2024 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab starting at just $44,595. So get to 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock before these deals are gone with the wind. Call 501-945-4444. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC. We are professional grade. Old Mill deals require eligible trade and financing. Stock numbers 30180, 30318, 30259, 30342.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Guys, if you're not feeling the same energy anymore, testosterone therapy or TRT may be the answer. Look for personalized treatment like you'll get with the TRT experts at Low T Center. Low T Center brings over a decade of experience, y'all. So go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com.
Hey, it's Brooke here, and at Chris Crane Hyundai, we've got a huge selection of pre-loved vehicles like never before. Late models loaded with new technology? Check. Payments to fit any budget? Check. Silverados, Civics, Broncos, and more. Check, check, check. Banks that love to say yes? You know it.
Our pre-loved inventory has never been better than now. Come visit your friends at Chris Crane Hyundai on Museum Road in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
At MNB, our reputation speaks for itself. We won't just tell you that we're the best. We'll prove it with our products, services, and commitment to the communities we serve. Technology is constantly changing, and there are more options than ever right at your fingertips. We'll always offer you the latest in technology, and we'll serve it up with great customer service. So when you bank with us, you know you're covered. You keep moving forward. At MNB, we've got your back. Check us out at mnbbank.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
ABC Supply presents Shannon Lynn, our favorite musicologist, when he joins Morning Mayhem. ABC Supply in North Little Rock, let's get your job done together. For location and product information, find them online at abcsupply.com.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where there's only one thing Randy and Rick like better than talking sports, and that's biting into some fresh crawfish with all the fixins at any Eat My Catfish location. You've got Drive Time Sports locked in on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
If your business isn't banking with First Security Bank, you need to give them a look. Their business banking product is packed with valuable benefits. Free online banking with free bill pay, business check line, business visa, business debit card, direct deposit payroll services, safe deposit box, retirement services, commercial account analysis. These are just a few of the many benefits your business will enjoy with a business banking account at First Security. But it's more than just great products. At First Security, it's about providing a better relationship. They'll sit down with you over a cup of coffee just to learn more about your business needs. So give them a chance to earn your business. Bank better with the business checking account at First Security Bank. Because at First Security, their bottom line is making your business better. Remember FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, only in Arkansas. That's First Security Bank. Rick Schaefer, I'm Randy Rainwater, joined again by Kevin McPherson, better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of Hogville.net. All right, Kevin, here's maybe a tough one. What is this team's identity now? Because I'm not sure we knew what the team's identity was before Boogie Flam went down.
Yeah.
And I'll ask a second question to that.
We didn't answer the first one yet.
Well, I'm going to ask him because it kind of dovetails into that. Yeah.
They go together. Okay.
Who is the go-to man?
Oh.
Was it Nellie Davis? Is it Nellie Davis after that last play was called for him against Oklahoma?
No.
Well, that's an interesting question because I think Arkansas' second best shot creator past Boogie Flan is actually DJ Wagner, and it's a lot of drive. But with Adu Thero proved in the game against Georgia at least one night that he was clutch. And if you're in these bully ball physical games down in the 60s, and you're getting a lot of whistles and getting some free throws, I probably want to turn it over to Thero. Now, Nellie Davis is a 90+% free throw shooter, and I think he made 5 of 60 tonight. That decision to go to him wasn't horrible. It might have been the second best choice, in my opinion. I thought Thero should have had a crack at it. But the identity of the team, Randy, I mean, to me, it's got to be. You don't have a ton of skill. You don't have a good three-point shooting team. You got to find ways to manufacture points. So I'm going to try to make this not only a physical team, but a team that gets back to what it was doing in non-conference, and it may be difficult against better competition, but you got to get more live ball turnovers, get out in transition, and then in a half court, what you've seen Arkansas do these last two games, really try to attack the offensive glass and just out blue collar the other team. And I think that should be the identity of this team, starting with defense. So, I mean, Eric Mossman's teams weren't very good at three-point shooting, but they had an identity. Defense, they found ways to get to the free throw line and get points, whereas they weren't getting a lot from three consistently. And so this is not the same coaching staff, not the same scheme, but it doesn't mean the idea isn't a good one. And, to try to, hang your hat on that physicality, blue-collar stuff and make sure that you're taking care of the defensive end. Maybe there's a lack of overall shooting skill and shot creation now, but on defense, there's no excuse not to be better than Arkansas. And Arkansas's had some games, not only holding teams in the 60s, but even Tennessee shot the 30s and held Florida down. Remember that game? Florida didn't shoot like it was just. So they've proven they can do it. And I think the other thing is, if that's your identity, who's going to step up as a leader and get this group together where they're not having these stretches where they're shooting themselves in the foot? Those self-inflicted wounds, you can be really good defensively at times, but if you have these breakdowns we see this team have at both ends, it doesn't matter what the identity is. Your identity eventually is going to be another result as a loss, added to another one and another one. You got to figure out a way to eliminate those self-inflicted wounds.
Okay, so there's no go-to player really to speak of. There's no identity really to speak of. I mean, the only identity that we've seen that semi-worked is like you said against Georgia. That was an ugly game to watch. It really is an ugly game to watch. And maybe it was because of all the fouls that were being called.
A lot of fouls.
A lot of fouls.
Free throws.
A lot. 49.
I mean, it wore you out watching that whistle blow. It did. No, I mean, it
was a 2-hour and 40-minute game, I think. It was close to that, wasn't it?
Oh, my gosh, it seemed to last forever. And it never really, I mean, it was difficult to watch. And then about the only excitement you had was when Thero goes to the line there at the end, makes the first, misses the second. They're all staying there picking their nose. Georgia is, and he goes in, gets the layup, and ends up with a 3-point win instead of a 1-point win. Let's see. Okay, this from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Says, seems to me it would be better if Wagner would just go to the basket. He is unstoppable going to the basket. But he wants to shoot threes, and I get it. He wants to prove he is an all-around player. But there are many people who make a living being unstoppable driving the basketball.
You know, I don't know if he's unstoppable, but he's pretty darn effective. That's why I think he was behind Flam was Arkansas's second best shot creator, because he can go a direct line to the basket. If you notice, he has those jigsaw cuts where he's actually kind of fading away, whether he goes left or right from the basket. He just kind of turns and scoops the shot off the glass, and he has a real nice touch with that, and he's not even going toward the basket at that point. He's kind of fading away toward the baseline. He's just got a real good knack for those kind of plays. He's got little runners and floaters that are pretty effective when he gets in the paint. I mean, he's got a little array of shots. Now, when I say shot creator, I don't think of him. I don't see that in the third level, as a three-point shooter. He's had a few games where he got hot. Really not much in the end since Arkansas has been in SEC play. I don't think he shot very well from there. Nobody has. Again, Arkansas was 9 of 27, 33%. Not absolutely atrocious, but again, I think Arkansas settled too much instead of attacking OU, and maybe that would have been a better formula had they not taken as many threes. But they did start to hit some, and let's not forget Arkansas hit back-to-back threes. It was Thiero hit one, and then Big Z to get that 6-point lead, 50-44, before Arkansas fouled 2 3-point shooters against an elite free throw shooting team that tied the game up. And from that point on, midway through the second half, no one had more than a one-possession lead after that. And Arkansas really had a chance with a 6-point lead to maybe maintain or build on it a little if they hadn't made those mistakes.
All right,
Momentum
Kevin.
Killers.
I have another question for you. Actually, it's, again, more than one question.
And he's going to the huge book of all of his records that he keeps that folds out about 37 feet wide, so get ready.
All right, this one is what should be now, N-O-W, now, what should be the expectations game to game from Trevin Brazile and Jonas Adu?
Oh, my gosh.
Because you're getting pretty much nothing right now.
But I base expectations on what they've shown us. What they need to start doing right now is being better. What my expectations are, though, are based on what they've shown us.
What are those?
I mean,
is it Brazile, 10 points, 12 points a game? Is it Adu? Is it 10 points, 12 points a game?
That's what Arkansas needs. They need those two to combine, at minimum combine, for 20 points and 15 rebounds. They need that from those two. And that number will come down. Well, that number will come down if Big Z's increasing his minutes. Now he's playing better and being more productive.
Yeah, he is playing a lot better.
But if we were,
I didn't throw him in though. I didn't throw him in this.
You didn't. That's right. So if you're focusing just on Adu and Brazile and what Arkansas really needs from that front line, 20 and 15 would be great. That's a high water mark on expectation for them right now. But I would have said more than that coming into the season with the expectations for Adu.
That's why I said now.
Yeah, so, I'd say a little bit more than that. And again, I don't see that happening, but that's what Arkansas needs from those two.
So, Randy, you're changing the name of our program, just like the SEC now. It's Drive Time Sports Now.
Give it to me now, Kevin. All right, buddy, we'll talk with you.
Guys.
Thank you, buddy. All right, Kevin McPherson, better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of Hogville.net. Drive Time Sports, hour number 3, straight ahead.
Looking for incredible deals? Look no further than Red River Auto Group, where their savings are as big as our selection. Cruise into a new 2024 Ford Bronco Sport starting at just $28,388. Need a truck? Get up to $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2024 Ram 1500. Plus, we've got a ton of new Toyota vehicles in stock, ready to roll off the lot. And don't forget our huge selection of pre-owned vehicles. Shop online at redriverauto.com.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury. Only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
It's Coach Kevin Kelly, Wednesdays on The Zone, presented by the Little Rock Athletic Club and Racquet Club. Join now and save 30% off the joining fees. LRAC.com.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
We know it, and we're proud of it. 103.7 The Buzz. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
A woman is dead after being shot outside Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock. Police say the victim was found in the parking lot just after 6 last night. She died at the hospital. Police have not released her name or any potential suspect information. Park Plaza is giving police access to security video and says ensuring guest and employee safety is a top priority. The Pulaski County Special School District is clarifying its policies on immigration. It sent a message to parents and staff as the Trump administration allows arrests to be made in schools and churches. The district says it will not allow anyone to come into school buildings without permission and proper clearance. The letter cites a court case that says districts cannot deny educational access to any student, no matter their immigration status. PCSSD says it is required under federal law to limit access to all student documents. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Juliana Cullen.
Clouds will slowly increase through this afternoon, but temperatures will stay mild. We'll be warming up into the upper 50s and the lower 60s later on this afternoon. Clouds will linger overnight tonight, keeping us milder. We'll drop down in the 30s and 40s, and we're back up in the 60s for your Wednesday afternoon. This is meteorologist Juliana Cullen with the Arkansas Storm Team for the Buzz Radio Network.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Oaklawn Sports presents Oaklawn Game Day. It's an inside look at the week's big games, exciting prop bets, and the latest betting lines from Oaklawn Sportsbook. Justin Acree and Oaklawn's Director of Sports Wagering, Zach Gillum, have all the information you need to place your bets at Oaklawn. Catch it on The Buzz Wednesday night at 8, and again Thursday mornings at 5:30 before Morning Mayhem. Oaklawn Game Day, presented by Oaklawn Sports on 103.7 The Buzz.
What's going on, everyone? DJ Williams here with Ginger Russell from Russell Chevrolet. Ginger, how you doing?
I'm doing great, DJ.
All right, now there's 3 things we have in common. We both love the Razorbacks, we both love Chevys, and we both love great deals.
Absolutely, DJ. This month at Russell Chevrolet, we have 5.9% financing on Silverado half-ton trucks for 84 months with approved credit.
Man, 5.9 with 84 months? Talk about a deal. Ginger, where can they find you?
Well, we're a mile and a half north of McCain Mall, or you can find us at russellchevrolet.com.
Attention Arkansas homeowners, are you tired of that old, outdated bathtub? Replace it with a beautiful, modern, easy-access walk-in shower from Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Bath Makeover is Central Arkansas's trusted local source for custom bathing solutions installed in as little as 1 day. Backed with a lifetime warranty, featuring our revolutionary new laser-etched shower wall systems. Call Bath Makeover of Arkansas now at 1-800-NEW-BATH during our triple saving sale. You'll save 3 ways. First, save $1,000 on a new bathtub or shower. Second, ask about 18 months, no interest and no payment financing. Senior and military discounts. Third, purchase a new bath or shower and receive a $200 Target gift card plus a bonus. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH right now for a free $50 restaurant.com gift card with in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Whatever you're doing this weekend, if it doesn't involve fast horses, daily doubles, high fives, and corned beef sandwiches, you may be doing it wrong. Every weekend through May 3rd, Oaklawn has live thoroughbred racing. Whether your Oaklawn is cheering from the home stretch, dining in the Bugler restaurant, or raising a glass at the First Turn bar, your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Well, speak of the devil. Devil's Smoke Sauce is back at Slim Chickens.
That's right, a hot honey barbecue with sweet and smoky heat and a fiery kick of crushed habanero. It's great for dipping our famous hand-breaded tenders as a devilish shaken wing sauce, or try the new Devil's Smoke Sauce Mac Bowl meal. Devil's Smoke Sauce, a limited time addition to our 14 house sauces. Try it. We dare you. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
For 54 years, you've trusted Sigma Supply for all your packaging and shipping needs. And now, as part of Brady Plus, they've got even more to offer. From janitorial supplies, facility essentials, and food service disposables, Sigma Supply has you covered. And ordering is a breeze with over 50,000 new products online at sigmasupply.com. And do not forget to call sales manager David Breitenberg at 1-800-264-1661 and ask for the Buzz discount. Remember, if you're not using Sigma Supply, you've got low-grade product, man.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 3 of Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. Got to tell you, Rick, Kramer was teaching me about the art of shooting a basketball.
Really? You have a goal there in the studio?
Well, what I kept yelling, brick, brick every time that he would get into his shooting form or technique. I'd yell brick, because brick typically means you skyrocket it off the rim about 90 miles an hour.
I clank a lot.
So we're going to have Bart on tomorrow. Bart Reed, Pure Sweat basketball skills, thanks to Martin Orthopedics. We had a very interesting conversation the other day.
Yeah.
And
the game or when? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were there at our.
Triple-double.
Triple-double, thank you.
Right.
Went blank for a moment. There at Conway, and we were talking about the arch on the ball. And he got to talking about how the NBA guys. And I want Bart to talk about that tomorrow because it's really, to me, a fascinating subject because he also said some of the form, the technique that we are so accustomed. Boy, you got to be square. You got to have your elbow here and so forth and so on. I want him to be sure and talk about that tomorrow and how some things are changing in the world of shooting a basketball.
Yeah, he's gonna mirror everything my wife told me. My wife can beat me in basketball because I don't square up. I shoot off my leg, and I whiff and clank everything.
I read this today on Whole Hog Sports. Did you see this, Rick? I didn't realize back in, November, the Southeastern Conference is scaling back on the use of electronic signaling devices for the 2025 baseball season?
For offense, not for defense, but for offense, yeah. And so if for offense, that means you're going to have to go back to using signs again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says prohibit teams from sending offensive signals by way of wrist devices worn by the players. I mean, you've seen them step out of the box, and they'll look at their wrist, and they were looking at what looked to be like a smart watch or whatever it's called. Apple makes all these smart watches. Teams were permitted to send offensive signals like when to steal or when to hit and run.
Mm-hmm.
And the use of the electronic devices on offense is strictly prohibited. A participant found to be using such a device on offense shall be ejected immediately. And I didn't know this until I read deeper into the story. Dave Van Horn said, instead of me saying hit and run, and DJ Baxendale, the director of analytics, would send the command to the player electronically. Now, Nate and I are going to be signaling, and we have so much time. Did you know this? I didn't know this. Hitters must be alert to pitches this year by 8 seconds on the 20-second pitch clock. That's a change from last season when players had to be alert by 10 seconds on the pitch clock. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's less, and the pitch clock. What is it? Is it 15 seconds?
We're saying 20 seconds here. 20 seconds on the pitch clock.
Okay. Well, that means the pitcher's got 12 seconds after you're set in the batter's box to throw the ball. Major League Baseball, it's 15 seconds, I think. So, anyway, why not? You can get back in 8 seconds. Now, as you're pointing out, you no longer have somebody whispering in your ear, what you need to do now is bunt, or we're going to hit and run here. You're not going to get that. Instead, what you have to do is the third base coach is going to have to give signs.
And you mentioned about on defense, electronic signals will continue to be permitted on defense. Pitcher communication technology allows pitchers to be alerted to a called pitch through the auto devices in their caps. Position players can track pitch calls and defensive coverages through text alert to their wristbands. Golly.
Text alerts through their wristbands. Isn't that funny? That is funny to think about. They're texting on the back. They're actually just receiving. I don't guess you can text back, can you?
I don't think so. Hey, would you order me a pizza real quick?
That's right. Are you sure that I'm supposed to play here?
I want pepperoni. I don't want that Supreme.
I mean, you're asking questions about, they text you, okay, shade this hitter 2 steps to your left. You sure? Maybe just 1 step is enough. I mean, you can't text back.
What happened to good old hand signals, Hey, move over here.
A lot of people looking at their wrist and then shaking it off. Just,
I'm not moving. I'm glued to this spot right here. All right, this is from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. We don't have an inside presence. Adu, hurt. Brazil, weak. Big Z, too soft. Guess that sums it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what else can you say?
No, that's pretty well.
Who was it yesterday that asked when's the last time Arkansas had a really good center?
See, I do think of Portis playing.
Do you think of him as
more
a
of
center?
it inside? I really do. I mean, I remember him shooting a lot of threes, where that meant he was away from the basket, obviously, but he seemed to be a pretty good defensive presence inside. Gafford, I guess, would be the last big man.
Yeah, probably.
Who you would call is a more than competent inside player.
Let's don't write off Avicic yet. As I said last night, you can see him getting better. I think that as long as he comes back next year, I think you're going to see him be pretty good. And just think, the more minutes he plays, he does block shots. He blocked 3 in the game the other day. He can block shots. So I think there's a real future for him.
If you're going by most recent history, and that really almost now goes back at least 15 or more years with Cal.
With no good centers?
No, I'm talking about turning over the roster.
Oh, yeah. Well,
he normally pushes the guys out the door. You're NBA. You're NBA.
He won't push him. He's not NBA ready. He won't push him. He won't push Carter Knox. I don't think, and of course Carter Knox is a true freshman. He's not going to push Billy Richmond. Those guys aren't ready to go. So the question is, are they happy enough at Arkansas? Do they still believe that Coach Cal eventually can get them to the NBA to stay? And you hope so. If Arkansas's NIL is as good as they say it is, and of course the question is, do you offer them the same or as much or more than you did this year when they haven't been that productive this year? So, I don't know what any of them are getting. Obviously, your top NIL guys are probably Boogie Flynn, and I'm guessing Thero is doing okay. I'm guessing that John L. Davis and Jonas Adu, those are probably, if they're not 1 and 2, they're 2 and 3. Those two and Boogie Flynn are probably the top 3, because Thero was just a good player, not a great player last year at Kentucky. So he probably, I'm guessing he's not 1, 2, or 3 on the NIL list.
Well, Thero,
what do you think?
Whatever gear he's found in the last few games, I wish the rest of the team would.
Yeah.
That's because the intensity of him is he's the only one that really looks like what we think of as classic Razorback basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's pass this sad news on, so to speak. UCA freshman Lane Taylor is out for the rest of the season after suffering a torn labrum.
Wow.
Lane is averaging 17.4, which is top 10 among freshmen nationally. Man, that's a blow to UCA. Hate that for Lane. That's a great kid. First thing I think about, Rick, with the torn labrum, think about that with the baseball pitcher. You see it with quarterbacks. Now you see it with the shooter. Ouch.
Yeah, wow.
Hopefully that's not something now that's going to change him in his game as a basketball player, because that young man can stroke it. And I think he had like 19 that matchup against Arkansas in North Little Rock. So that's a big blow. I was trying to look up real quick, and I can't find it here on my menu on NBA Draft. There it is right there. Let's see what it has to say. Draft. Let's click onto that one.
While you're looking up that, Taylor averaged 17.4 for the season. Like just want to throw that in.
Yeah, good player.
Yeah,
very good
sure.
player. All right, this is the latest NBA Draft.net as of the 20th of January. Number one player to be drafted, no surprise, is Cooper Flagg by way of Duke.
You mean, oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
This upcoming draft, yeah.
Holy smokes. Is he good or what?
At number seven, Boogie Fland by way of the number 7.
Well, then he's gone.
Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Now we'll see how that continues on as time goes on with as more is known about his injury. Let's see who else in the first round. Okay, 30 picks, and who else from the Tahad Pettiford is number 30 from Auburn. And LeBaron Philon of Alabama is number 21 to New Orleans. Chaz Lanier, Tennessee, is number 16 to the Utah Jazz. Jeremiah Fears, the outstanding freshman from Oklahoma, he is number 10 to San Antonio. Asa Newell is number 6 from Georgia to the Portland Trailblazers. Trey Johnson, Texas, number 4 to Charlotte. Then we move on to the second round. Colin Murray is to Dallas, South Carolina, number 32. Adu Thero, Arkansas, second round, 36, Sacramento.
Well, then he's probably gone too.
Jackson.
If he does get picked that quick.
What now?
Well, although he doesn't know till he goes, right?
Unless he gets $1 million NIL deal to stay, which would be, I'm guessing, close to the same money he would be getting.
Second round?
Second round, because that money's not guaranteed.
Well, that's true, although you can sign contracts that have that, you're going to get paid. You're going to go up and down, and when you're up, you get it. And when you're down, you still get paid, but more than the other guys that are down in the G League.
Former Razorback, former Aggie, former BYU, now Kentucky. Jackson Robinson, number 37, New York Knicks. Kobe Bray, by way of the Kentucky Wildcats, number 40, San Antonio. Number 45 to Detroit from Kentucky, Amari Williams. Number 54 to the Denver Nuggets, Andrew Carr, Kentucky. And number 59 to the Oklahoma City Thunder from Alabama, Mark Sears. So 2 players from Arkansas, looks like about 4 or 5 from Kentucky. Georgia's got 1. In Newell, Texas, looks like they have just the 1. 1 from Tennessee, a couple from Auburn. But no Big Z. So now, no DJ Wagner. So here you got DJ Wagner.
Yeah, who's still got eligibility.
He's a sophomore this year.
Right, that's right.
So he can come back. And as much as it seems like Cal loves Wagner, I would expect him back. Billy Richmond, we know, is a freshman. He'll be back. Big Z is just a sophomore. Sounds like he'll be back. So you got 1, 2, 3 already. Carter Knox, freshman, 4. Adu is done. He's a grad senior.
Yeah.
Brazil's a junior. He could come back. That would be 5.
I can't imagine that.
Adu Thero, junior. He could be back. That's 7. Nellie Davis, grad senior, gone. So 7, which would totally blow any numbers away. I don't know that Cal has ever brought back 7 players from the previous.
Not since in the last 10 or 12 years or 15 or whenever this is all. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
So how much does that change the dynamics? Now you've got 3 coming in. Isaiah Seeley.
Yeah.
And Malik Thomas, Darius Acuff. So now you're up to 10. You know he's going to want to go in the transfer portal. Does he go back to 13 players?
I'd say he'll get at least 1 or 2. Wouldn't you think?
Absolutely. I cannot see John Calipari going with a 9-man roster again.
No. Well, we say that we can't.
No, I can't. I mean, I realize I have no inside knowledge. You can say, there's still a lot of games to be played.
Yeah. Well,
what's going to change?
Nothing's going to change this team. They've got 8 right now, and that's probably what they're going to have. Don't you think?
Yeah.
You see more and more. Okay, if Arkansas was having a really good year, and they look like a really good bet to make the NCAA tournament, I'm guessing Boogie Flan would try and get back. But if this is a 5 to 6 week thing, and the only thing he would be coming back for is the SEC tournament, which Arkansas is going to have to win either 4 or 5 games to win, then I cannot imagine he's going to come back and play.
I don't see it. No.
So
if I right now, if I'm Boogie Flan and if this holds, I am the 7th overall pick. He'd be crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because we've talked about. We saw it this past year. Hunter Dickinson did I mention Hunter Dickinson? Let me look at that. Let me look at this again. Hunter Dickinson. This was basically about a $3 million man. At least a couple of million.
Yeah.
Do you realize, Rick, he is not, I don't even see a Kansas player, period.
Wow.
Now, this is NBADraft.net. I don't see, there's not one in the second round, which means Hunter Dickinson. If he's got any eligibility left, he'll be wise if he can get that same kind of money coming back for Kansas, coming out of the.
Yeah.
No, he is not listed at all.
Huh. Wow.
Not at all.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, what do we know, right? What do we know? Well, here we are already talking about who's coming back and who's going to get.
Well, you have to. What else can you talk about?
Well, right, because they're 1-6 right now, and last year 1-6 led to not getting in the NCAA tournament, led to a losing record. I don't know if they'll dip to that. They could. They're 12-8. It's very possible they could have a losing record. You know, Cal had 1 or 2 of those at Kentucky, I think. I know they had one. They went to the NIT one year. And
lost in the first round.
Yeah, there was another year I think they had a losing record. So it's not like you're guaranteed anything. Nolan Richardson's first team started 9-2 and then finished with a losing record. And so it can happen. Let's hope it doesn't. Well, you want to change subjects?
Oh, yeah, go right ahead.
Here's something that's really interesting.
I'm just working off my big pad that Kramer fusses about.
Athlon Sports this morning. Ohio State.
Yeah, okay, I saw that story.
Nobody spends more money than Ohio State, and nobody has greater revenue than Ohio State. So Ohio State's revenue has been outstanding, but in they just, I guess, got the figures from the 2023-24 year, which is last year, not this year. And Ohio State had 6 home games. They had 8 this year, plus a playoff game. And so last year, not this current year, last year they spent $292.7 million.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. They took in $254.9, which was $25 million less than they took in the previous year. That means they had a $37.7 million budget deficit. Can you imagine that? Now, evidently they had past money built up.
Hold that thought. We got to step away for a moment. Rick Schaefer, I'm Randy Rainwater. Drop Time Sports will continue.
Join the Zone each Monday for Game Balls and Jockstraps, brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Find out who made the best, average, and worst headlines in sports and entertainment each Monday as Justin and DJ give you their Game Balls and Jockstraps on the Zone from 10 to 1. It's all brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770. Call today to get your landscape updated to a whole new level and be listening for Game Balls and Jockstraps only on 103.7 The Buzz.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
The man known for creating sports awards has finally earned his own. The entire Buzz team would like to congratulate our own David Basil on being named the Arkansas Sports Broadcaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association.
Fellas, it's 2025, baby. It's time to get your testosterone levels checked. Don't put it off. Make it a priority. Get tested ASAP. If you're lacking energy or muscle mass or have low libido, it could be low testosterone. Testosterone therapy or TRT may be the answer, and nobody compares to the experts at Low T Center. Here's the deal. We all have different T levels, so whatever you do, don't settle for a standard dosage TRT plan. Look for a personalized treatment plan, which is exactly what you'll get at Low T Center. Right now, for current patients, Low T Center offers a $150 referral credit when you refer a new patient. So go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health.
This is Pat Bradley for Wood Grill Buffet. Wood Grill has the state's largest and freshest buffet with 190 items, including 30 meat items, food bar, salad bar, and dessert bar. Wood Grill is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. They have 2 large private dining rooms, and Wood Grill also does catering. Wood Grill Buffet can drop off any order with staff service for 25 to 1,000 people. Wood Grill is at exit 118 in Benton, 1916 Congo Road, or call 501-778-9656. Check them out.
This is Justin Akery from my friends at CertaPro Painters, the company I've been using for years for my painting needs. Ever regretted a paint color choice? You're not alone. But with CertaPro Painters, you'll never have to worry about that again. Our professionals help you pick the perfect color for your home so you'll love it for years to come. Call your neighborhood CertaPro Painters and ask about their color consultation services. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
The man known for creating sports awards has finally earned his own. The entire Buzz team would like to congratulate our own David Basil on being named the Arkansas Sports Broadcaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association. David, thank you for your passion and hard work on Morning Mayhem and your many other endeavors. And you can catch the Arkansas Sports Broadcaster of the Year along with Roger, Justin, and Josh right here on the Buzz on Morning Mayhem, weekdays from 6 to 10. Congrats, Baz, and here's to a great 2025.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where there's only one thing Randy and Rick like better than talking sports, and that's biting into some fresh crawfish with all the fixins at any Eat My Catfish location. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas, Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Crane Hyundai of Little Rock is the home of sales tax paid. Huge selection of award-winning 5-star safety-rated vehicles. Hyundai has 6 models under 30 grand. Kona, Elantra, Santa Fe, and more. Plus the Crane Hyundai, you'll get the Crane commitment and Hyundai's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Crane Hyundai has a great selection of pre-owned vehicles. Nearly every make and model is available. Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. New or pre-owned. Crane Hyundai on Colonel Glenn Road is the best deal and the home of the sales tax paid. Speaking of Crane Hyundai, I'll be back there again on Thursday at Crane Hyundai. Hope you'll come by, say hello. And while you're at it, check out the great lineup they have of Hyundais. As mentioned, the Kona, the Elantra, the Santa Fe, and more. 6 models under $30,000. And I must tell you, the Palisades is not one of those, but it is one sweet ride. That's Crane Hyundai and the Crane team. And speaking of the Crane team, will be on hand this Friday. Talk about a scoring machine. Little Rock Christian and J.J. Andrews will be there on Friday. Bart and I will be with the Crane team triple-double. Once again, love to see you there. You want to see a great player who has been playing really since his freshman year. Now here we are into his sophomore season. So that's our Crane team triple-double. And that will be Friday. And then we move back to, I believe it's Northwest Arkansas after that. I'm trying to text and talk, which is not easy.
Well, keep trying. You're texting and talking at the same time.
You'll get one of them right.
Well, I'll go back to what we were talking about Ohio State, and then you can come back whenever you want to on that. So Ohio State last year, 23-24 year, spent $292.7 million. They were 37. They were short. Their revenue was $37.7 million less than that, if you can imagine that. Expected to be covered by reserve funds now, along with past and future earnings. Now, just think about it this year. This year, they played 8 home games, played a playoff game at home. I'm sure they got some revenue from that. They went all the way to the national championship game, which I think's, of course, it goes to the league, but they'll get a split on that. And so they made a lot of money from that. And anyway, they were also last year took in $8.7 million less in royalties. Now that's talking about sponsorships. That's talking about jersey sales, all that kind of stuff. Also, they were down $5.3 million in contributions, if you can imagine that. But they still brought in $254.9 million. Arkansas's budget's around $162 million. So that's what they brought in, and they spent $292.7 million. What do you think they spent this year? Now remember, this year the school is not responsible for NIL money. They spent over $20 million on NIL this year, but that didn't come from the school. Next year it will. Does that mean their budget's going to be like $330 million? And now Texas has a high budget. There are other schools that have high budgets, but nobody's even close. Texas may be within tens of millions of dollars, but nobody is spending like Ohio State. And this year it paid off. We talk about in sports, does spending the most money and bringing in the most money always lead to having the best team? No, doesn't always do that. Or winning the championship, not always. Although, gosh, look what the Dodgers did. They won the World Series last year, and now they have gone crazy spending in the offseason. And plus they get the benefit of Shohei Ohtani being on a deferred deal. But anyway, does it always mean you win? No. But Ohio State's going to be tough to beat with those kind of resources. Do you think?
Nobody does it better. That reminds me of Carly Simon.
Yeah.
Nobody does it better.
If we're singing songs, I have to tell you, while Kevin McPherson was on during the break, I was thinking of another song. Ain't no cure for the summertime blues. There ain't no cure for the Razorback blues. Because I was thinking, if we asked Kevin, what do you think could be done at this point, what would the answer be? What could you possibly answer, right?
Nobody does it better. No one knows it better. All right, let's. I asked for this gentleman's specific input because it's called roster management. We hear that so often. Rick was kind of referencing that a minute ago. Bill Ingram joins us, athletic director, expert at all basketball matters. My man, Billy Ingram. Billy, what do you make of this Arkansas roster? And we were just kind of going down it a moment ago, going over player eligibility, and this is something that is really foreign to the way that he's done business in times past, and that's bringing back a heavy roster from the previous season. So, how do you see Cal starting to manage this roster going forward? Just as a refresher, we do believe Boogie Fland is gone. He's right now number 7 on the list for the Brooklyn Nets by way of NBADraft.net. So we think he's pretty much gone. Adu Thero right now is number 32 or 33, second round. He's got a year. He could come back. Brazil, he's a junior. He's got a year. He could come back. Adu is out of time. His clock's over. Nelly Davis, his clock is over. Carter Knox, freshman. DJ Wagner, sophomore. Billy Richmond, freshman. Big Z, sophomore. He can come back. That's 7 players. How do you see roster management? Look ahead. Look in your crystal ball. Coach Ingram.
Well, he got 2 McDonald All-Americans signed.
Coming in. And Isaiah Seeley.
And Isaiah Seeley. So that's 3 guys right there. You got 7 that you could potentially bring back. And, of course, I'm sure they're going to look in the transfer portal. So somebody else will probably, off that roster, will probably be moving on. I would think somebody else will be moving on. And if you just looking at the roster, you would think it may be DJ Wagner, whether he try to go play football or hit the transfer portal and go somewhere where he can log heavy minutes, because he bringing in the freshman point guard Darius. That guy, he's bringing that guy in to get all the minutes at the point. And that kid is really good, so he's going to play. I anticipate he's going to play heavy minutes at the point, probably like Boogie. And then, like you say, you got the other young man you're bringing in,
Malik Thomas.
Malik Thomas. Then you got Seeley you're bringing in. So those guys can play on the perimeter. And then I would think that you'll probably lose Thero as well, I would think, because I think he's probably going to continue to move up on the draft board. So you may lose him. But the good part about it, with NIL, you could possibly keep all of these guys, really, because you're paying them, so some of them getting paid so well. But I just like, but I think whatever he does, I think he's going to have to extend to. It's obvious you're going to extend to more than 8 or 9 players, because right now you got one guy that's out for the season, and if you mess around and get somebody else in, you down to 7. And I'm not sure, like the other 3 or 4 guys they got on the roster, or they are scholarship players, or they on full athletic scholarship. And I'm thinking that one of those guys you could steal some minutes from, because you're down to 8 players right now. So you get into some of these games and they force you in an up tempo game. Then some of those guys' legs are probably gonna get a little heavy pretty quickly. So you're gonna have to, or 2 of them get in heavy foul trouble. Then you could easily be down to 6 or 7 players. So somewhere along, I would think he's going to take one of those guys he got on the bench that's on scholarship, and he's going to steal some minutes with him. I'm not quite sure who. I know they brought the one kid in from California, supposed to be a great shooter. It would seem like that you may be able to steal some minutes with him somewhere. But like I'm not in practice every day, so you don't know. But I think the roster, without a doubt, I think he's going to have to go playing probably 9 or 10 guys again next year, because doing the 8 or 9 thing, I think is limits you big time. And then if you get a guy hurt, 1 or 2 guys hurt, then you down to 6 or 7 guys, and that's tough to play in this type of conference. You playing 10 games.
Well, you're talking about, we've jokingly, Rick and I have called them cadavers that are on the bench. It's interesting. The game in North Little Rock, I don't know that told us anything or not, but he did put, the first player that he put in that particular day was Kareem Watkins. And I don't think Kareem scored even that particular day. I don't know that anybody that he brought in scored a point for that matter. And I'm talking about the ones that we think are strictly bench players and have not. Well, okay, I think the one you're thinking of is Jaden Cardulia.
Yeah, that's him that's
Sun Valley, California.
Kid out of California,
Yeah, 6'5", 180 pounds. And then the other one that I really thought might have seen some true action was Chavis, Cash Chavis. 6'4", no, he's 6 foot out of Minneapolis. I really thought he might have seen some action, but he hasn't to this point. Billy, you want to hold on for another segment? I got one more segment left.
Sure.
Hang tight. All right, that's Billy Ingram. Yeah, we're talking roster right now. Next year's roster. Drive Time Sports will continue in a moment.
Hey guys, it's Dee Dee from Ava Bella Day Spa. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and we have this special for all of you lovebirds. How about a romantic indulgent spa package, the 60-minute massage, and a lotion candle? That's our signature candles that the wax turns into lotion, all for $100. Plus, we have the Glow of Love, Forever Yours, and we also have memberships this year. Just go to avabelladayspa.com and choose what you like, order your gift card, and give it to your Valentine. Or come on in and get that complimentary candle. avabelladayspa.com.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJ Spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Jamie Cobb here, owner-operator of Gwatney Buick GMC.
And I'm DeAndre Griffin, 8-time Salesman of the Year.
DeAndre started at Gwatney Buick GMC over 13 years ago with no sales experience.
Since then, I've been able to provide for my family with an excellent income and a family-friendly schedule.
Thank you for all you do, DeAndre. We offer upfront vacations, 401k, and our industry-leading work schedule.
That's right. I truly make my own schedule, and I only work weekends when I feel like it, and late nights are a thing of the past.
So call me. If you're tired of working late-night schedules or Saturdays, our sales are growing faster than our current staff can keep up with. Call me today for an appointment, 501-945-4444.
Joining Gwatney Buick GMC is the best decision I have ever made for my family.
Gwatney Buick GMC in North Little Rock at 5700 Landers Road, 501-945-4444. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
ABC Supply presents Shannon Lynn, our favorite musicologist, when he joins Morning Mayhem. ABC Supply in North Little Rock, let's get your job done together. For location and product information, find them online at abcsupply.com.
Serious injuries happen every day.
If it happens to you, don't wait. Dial 8.
Dial 8 for Rainwater, Holton, Sexton.
888-8888.
Anywhere in the state, dial 8.
We've got you covered, Arkansas.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Roger Scott for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union in Benton. Just give me 30 seconds, please. The end of the year auto loan special at Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union ends January 31st, so don't miss out. Rates as low as 2.025%, 84 months financing, and no payments for 90 days. Offer valid on 23, 24, and 25 models. Apply today at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties. Thank you. 2930.
Tiretown Point S in Benton presents Trey Biddy when he joins Justin and DJ in the Zone every Monday to talk all things Razorbacks. Trey Biddy in the Zone brought to you by Tiretown Point S in Benton. Find them online at pointstire.com.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. You're safe at home with Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Double B's will continue to be gas it, grab it, and go. Sometimes you just got to go. I mean, you don't have time to go inside to check out any of the great specials. You want to be able to pay right there at the pump and boom, be on your way. Well, that's the beautiful thing about the Exxon or the Phillips 66 cars Yeah, you can pay right there at the pump, and boom, you are gone. But you also want to take advantage if you have that Exxon credit card. You can also get 10 cents off a gallon at the pump. Sign up and pay. That's right, with your Exxon credit card. And you also, say it again, if you want to go inside, take advantage of the great deals as they continue the January specials. There's just a couple of days left. That 32-ounce Snapple, 2 for $4. How about the 30-ounce Core Hydration Water, 2 for $5. And then you've got the great Ruffles special, 2 for $4.50. The Lay's special, $3.99. And then there's the Hostess bag of donuts. I've been pitching those for a while, 2 for $10. And you can always enjoy that 1-liter Brisk tea, 2 for $4. Where you'll find all those great deals, Double B's. Where you gas it, grab it, and go. Make it Double B's. Billy Ingram joins us by way of Arkansas Baptist. He is the AD, the athletic director. There is a great one out there. We get a chance this Friday, Billy, to see J.J. Andrews. What do you think of J.J.?
Man, and that old saying, man, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
This kid is for real. He's a phenomenal player. I mean, he got all the tools of a great basketball player. He's long arms, big hands. Can move north and south, east and west. Shoots the ball really well. Understands the game. And he has a very high ceiling. He'll be one of those guys that when he gets to college, he'll be ready to play because he's a physical specimen, and he'll be one of those guys that's arriving on campus ready to play.
Billy, what is he? Top 25, top 10, maybe?
Yeah. They got him ranked 22nd on ESPN rankings. I think some of the rankings he'll probably be higher than that. But he's a guy who has a great opportunity to keep moving forward. When you look at a lot of these guys, because you see some of these guys, they be ranked very highly, and you still kind of wonder what their ceiling is. But you can look at him and tell his best basketball is definitely ahead of him, and I think I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he has a chance of being one of the great ones.
Is he a 2? Is he a 3? I mean, I know there's a lot of positionless basketball, but let's just stick with the old school 1 through 3, 1 through 4. I know he's 6'7" right now. Is he through growing? That'd be the first question I'd ask. But at the same time, where do you see him as a 2?
Yeah, I think he's a 3 right now, and I think he's moving toward that 2 spot. But I think he's a 3, and I think it's just his game. He keeps improving on the perimeter, and really right now it's down to him just being a better ball handler that'll probably transition him into a 2. And those are things that if you work on, you can improve your ball handling probably quicker than anything. If you put the right work in on him. But I think right now he's probably a 3, moving toward that 2 position. The kid, like I said, the kid upside is just unbelievable.
I've gone blank on is it Gill, the young man for Missouri. I would call him pretty much a pure shooter. How many pure shooters does a team really need? I don't feel like Arkansas right now, as an example, has a pure shooter, someone who you can say, go get me 10, go get me 20, whatever it may be. I don't think Arkansas has that kind of player. We thought it might have been Nelly Davis, but
that's before he says that. When he was recruited, we thought Nelly Davis was, but he's not. So anyway,
if it'd be great if any team can have 2 of those guys, but you definitely need one guy. And in this day and age, really, if you got a guy that's capable of getting hot and can hit you 3 or 4, 3 threes in a row or 4 threes in a row, or just being a threat to stretch that floor, helps a lot of times. And then when you watch Isaiah Joe play in the NBA, even when he was at Arkansas, he stretched the floor. God, you need somebody that's capable of stretching the floor, because now that keeps the defense honest, and they have to honor that guy. And I'm not sure if, like I said, we thought Nelly Davis would be that guy, and there's still a lot of basketball left. He could turn into that guy, but you need that guy to loosen the floor, because those are driving lanes, and once you can get those driving lanes, then that gets you in the paint, and you can score from that spot, or you can dish from that spot. And and that hurts Arkansas sometimes that they don't have anyone right now that's really stretching the floor.
Dalton Connect, we know what he is or was at Tennessee, and certainly even what now he is doing for the Lakers at the NBA level. How critical do you think a player like Connect, and I realize they don't come along that often, but to the success of someone like Jonas Adu? Adu does not look like the player, any form, any fashion, the player that he was for Tennessee just a year ago.
I mean, you just talked about it. The floor is all bunched up because we don't have anyone to stretch the floor consistently. And when you don't have anyone, when he played at Tennessee, Dalton Connect stretched that floor big time. And when you don't have to worry about that guy, the defense can sag in on you, or they can slow play you where they don't have to cheat out as much, or they have to lock on to that guy and that perimeter guy, and leaving that guy on the post in a one-on-one position. And I mean that's having an effect. I think that's having an effect on him. You need that guy that can stretch the floor. That's crucial with having big guys, loosen the floor for big guys that can score.
Is he really a 5, or is he more of a 4, but he's being forced into playing the 5? Because I don't remember him. Okay, I remember some of the games Tennessee played, and some of the games that looked like he got a lot of putbacks and lobs and this, that, and the other, but I also remember him shooting out on the floor a little bit more than what he's doing for Arkansas, even though when he shoots it on the floor, he doesn't make it. But anyway, do you see him more as a 4 or as a 5?
I think, the way Tennessee was playing, that they were playing 3 perimeter players and sometimes 4 with a post player. But I think when they had those 2 post players in, he would play the 4 a lot of times. But what made it so easy for him, they had 2 or 3 guys that went to the glass hard. Even Dalton Connect went to the glass hard. So when you got those many guys crashing that glass, then that makes it easier for you to rebound. And they were very good at that at Tennessee. I mean, they were tough on you on that offensive glass. So I think that just helped them just having more bodies hitting the glass, and it make it easier for you to rebound. But when you look at him now, he looked like a straight. They got him playing basically straight 5, which on the block, which is back facing the basket. But my thing is his offensive rebounding that needs to pick up. And I thought he would be a better offensive rebounder and give the team more opportunities than he's giving them now. But I know he was injured for a while, so, and you still, trying to get used to your players, so it's not too late for it to come, but they need him to really be one of those guys that's a threat on that offensive glass every time somebody shoots the ball.
Brazil seems to keep going backwards, not forward. Is that a fair assessment?
With him, when he first got here, of course, he showed great potential, and now, I think sometimes he gets too perimeter oriented because he made some great plays in the post, and I don't understand why that's not done consistently. When they played against Illinois, he came up with the big block. He made some great plays in the post, but I think sometimes it appears to me that sometimes he locks in on the perimeter and wants to play on the perimeter more than he wants to just be a basketball player. With all his athleticism, you think he would be, averaging maybe just 8 points, 6 to 8 points just off stick back. Because he can get to that glass. And see, if both of those guys in that class crashing that glass like that makes the game easier for everybody. Then it gives you extra opportunities. But I just think he's not doing enough for the dirty work. Because when you're doing that dirty work, that makes everything better, and it helps you get in the rhythm a lot of times to shoot it. You can get you a couple of easy ones.
Billy, we got to go. Thank you. Billy Ingram by way of Arkansas Baptist. Coming up next, Wild Things. Stay tuned.
You know where to find us.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.